You are now listening to the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
The audio commentary. It's a dying art form, but here at One Track Mind, I, your wonky yet affable host Ryan Luis Rodriguez, analyze film through the prism of these embryonic forms of podcasting, one audio commentary at a time. Masterpieces, crapster pieces, live action, animation, cult classics, films literally no one has ever heard of. No track is too small, and no track is too big. Join me and my guests from the entertainment world as we keep these features alive every other Tuesday. Hey, who else is going to discuss Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey one week and Citizen Kane the next? Us, that's who. Sure, you have to put up with my voice, but there's a certain give and take in this industry. That's One Track Mind, part of the Someone's Favorite Productions family, and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hi there, and welcome back to another Thursday. And I'm back. I missed last Thursday. For the first time ever, had somebody else host my show, and that felt weird as hell. I hope everybody's happy to be back to normal. I'm happy because Jake is here. Jake, how have you never been here before? That's weird.
I have no idea. Beats me, man. You've been doing this forever, so I'm glad I finally made an episode, man.
Yeah, you are very well known around these parts and around Lionsgate headquarters. How's the channel going?
Same old. Putting out daily videos, whether they be short or long form, and the grind never ends, Ryan. I know you know that all too well.
Yeah, I would hesitate to say I know about grinding. I wasn't popular in high school, but we'll say that it's been an interesting few years. You mentioned something I've always wanted to ask you. How do you prefer long content or short content? Do you have something that you prefer making?
I miss the days of when I started TikTok and I could make videos that are like 15 to 30 seconds. That's my sweet spot, just to be like, hey, I got a brain fart of an idea that I want to pitch out there to people, and more often than not, it worked. So
interesting. I don't think I've ever made anything shorter than about 2.5 minutes, and I'm very jealous of that. I feel like that would be amazing, and then I also feel like I'd edit it for like 4 hours anyway, and something could be a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm used to the edit grind, and more often than not, if you have a good idea and you just kind of throw it out to the world, it's a lot better and it'll get more views than if you like spend hours editing whatever you're trying to do. I love to edit, but I've kind of taught myself, don't go too crazy.
Yeah, I get it. Unfortunately, when you have a 4-hour interview that you need to edit like I do right now, it's a mess.
I bet.
Speaking of interviews, you have stepped into the interview game over the last couple of years.
Yep.
What is your favorite interview you've done so far?
I really like talking with Aaron. I've done it a couple times. Aaron Gershman over at Lionsgate. Those have been fun. But I'm only 51 episodes into Boutique Talk, my podcast, and I enjoy talking with just about everybody. You've been on there before, and it's just been fun to kind of shoot the physical media shit. It used to be just talking about a specific title, but I've kind of like broadened it out to a topic that I think more people kind of enjoy instead of having to do your homework and watch a movie beforehand.
Yeah, that part is tough, especially if you're trying to talk with somebody that maybe they don't want to do enough research or don't want to dive into let's analyze a film too much. And a lot of people, they kind of hesitate or shy away from speaking too much on especially a specific title if somebody they know worked on it or who knows. Anyway, it's a weird game to play. But my favorite thing is stuff like you do recently is being able to learn from who people are and what their impacts to things are. And the Lionsgate thing's kind of crazy. Been getting you quite a bit of attention.
And I've had him on twice. I'm hoping to do like a once a year check-in just to see like how Lionsgate Limited has done as a whole. I might expand that out next time and just say Lionsgate in general and get topics on more things other than just Lionsgate. I think that would be interesting to come from a guy kind of higher up over there as well. But I've liked talking with Mexifunk. He makes some great steelbook designs, and he will talk your ear off in the best way possible. He's got so much insight to just like soak up like a sponge.
Well, it's in the name, so we got to ask why steelbooks. I know that you've answered this many times. I've seen you talk about it hundreds of times. But for anybody that's new to you, why steelbooks?
The first steelbook I ever got was back when Django Unchained came out. Saw it in theaters. Absolutely loved the movie. Went to Target on a whim because I wanted to add it to the collection the day it came out on New Release Tuesday. Randomly saw on the shelf Django Unchained on Blu-ray, and then this weird looking thing right next to it with a very simple yet striking image that really spoke to me. And the steelbook thing, had no idea what it was, but I grabbed it off the shelf and I bought it immediately, and it's been an addiction ever since, Ryan. I think last I counted I had close to 1,100 steelbooks, so it's just it's fun. I like it.
The Shelf Shock Rewind video that you did for this year, I don't remember the exact numbers. You had the vast majority that came out last year.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, first of all, they're getting so hard to track down. They're getting so hard to come in undamaged. They're getting so hard to get replenishment stock because 4K discs have become more and more rare. How? That is so many.
It's rare. I mean, I guess I'm lucky in a sense because a lot of studios send me this stuff anyway. I'm very blessed when it comes to that. And when they send a package to you, they don't throw it in a goddamn bubble mailer like Amazon does. That drives me crazy to no end. I also put my negative posts of like I bought a Sawtooth Steelbook, and there were 2 times that I got it sent to me. One was in a bubble mailer, one was in a box. They both came dented as shit. So it's hard. I miss the days of going into Best Buy and like combing through and finding the best steelbook. That was really what made me fall in love with steelbooks, is that I could get in there with my hands and look at all the new artwork in person. Buying physical media in 2026 majorly online is just it doesn't hit the same.
It doesn't. I mean, first of all, the problem of facing, first off, stocking crises that we've had over the last year is a shitty thing to have to focus on, especially when you would think you're a consumer. They want your money. They should make that easy, but also it's just not as simple as saying yes to all of that. But the other thing, back in, I don't want to say like the heyday of physical media necessarily, but the heyday of steelbooks, probably around 2018-ish, of when you could walk straight into Best Buy on release day and there would be 15 copies of any steelbook that was coming out that day. Mm-hmm. And not only did you not have to pre-order and fear that it would sell out on day one, you could go in there and choose. You could wait a week. You could see how, do I like this design? Am I going to waffle on it? Can I wait for a sale? That's a very different world than we have now. Right.
And then the $15, $20 steelbooks that would hit day one at that price, now they do not even come close. You're lucky if you get like that $40 price mark on a lot of these. A lot of things have changed, even back in the day, to where like a pre-order bonus would be a steelbook at Best Buy. Like that was like very, very cool. Like for the Disney steelbooks, a lot of those were just, hey, pre-order this movie, we'll know your number's coming, we'll throw in this random case for you, have fun with it.
Yep. I miss those days greatly. I miss better design sometimes. It's a weird, different change to face nowadays. But you watch all kinds of movies. What else do you like collecting? Who's your favorite label right now that's not a steelbook label?
Arrow is old reliable, that's for sure. I think with my taste, they consistently come out with something every month that I'm happy with. I would say overall, Second Sight is the one to where like whenever any title gets released from that label specifically, it makes me happy because I know it's getting like the most definitive edition it possibly will get, either in those chunky box sets that you kind of see behind me back there.
Yeah, we got a few back there. Yeah.
I also have a lot of like the individual cases too, because for me, I like Second Sight because their transfers are kick-ass and their special features are so thorough every single time. So I would say if I had to pick one, Second Sight would be the one that I still get like the most excited about.
I mean, well, hell, that's a great transition. I'm going to share one of my pickups because it's one that I've been very excited for a while. Second Sight's Ugly Stepsister came in.
Nice.
Saw this at Panic Fest here in Kansas City last year. Loved the movie. Had been waiting for a good release of it. I almost caved and got the German one, and thankfully, right around then, they posted that they were going to be putting it out, and so glad I waited because it's genuinely an incredible package of a film that could win an Oscar this weekend. That's the crazy thing.
Hopefully it won't, but I really want it to. Like, that would be the one to where if it did win, I'd be the most happy, because I was happy when I got a nomination, but I think that's that movie's win in particular.
I agree. It is absolutely a long shot, one that it likely will not win, and it probably shouldn't, but that's okay. I get it. What about you? What are some pickups for you? And then I'll share the rest of mine.
You know, me being a very terrible a guest on here, all of my pickups are in the next room. Give me a second. How about instead of showing, because I'm literally in the middle of putting away over 100 movies. So
Jesus. I
have the table that I normally record on is in that room full of movies, and I have like a very janky setup here right now. So instead of going through those movies, what if I just get one of my packages and open it right now to kind of showcase off what's in there?
Let's do that. And I will, while you're grabbing that, I will tell everybody what we're talking about tonight after the announcements. So tonight, after the announcements, we are going to be covering the Oscars this weekend, but in particular, we're going to be talking about the Best Actor category, playing around with some things around that, discussing who was nominated, the films themselves, some other, other fun picks, and just randomly having a conversation about that, because it's one of the categories that's a little more of a toss-up than some of the others. I feel like Best Actress, we kind of already know who's going to win. It's not really a question at this point. Best Picture is a little up in the air, of course, but it's 10 films, and there's really only a 2-horse race on that one, so we don't really need to go too much into that. But Best Actor, I think, is going to be an actual interesting conversation. So definitely want to talk about that one in depth, and some alternate choices as well. Yes, it's going to be a fun one. All right. What do you got?
Best Actor is, there's a lot to talk about with Best Actor. So I cannot wait to dig into that more with you. I grabbed a few that I've seen from the new releases, and then I'll unbox this sucker from the movieroom.com right here. Nice. I absolutely love that small business. So
they're good people.
Yeah. I know that Deaf Crocodile is always in your chat over here. So I have Hair High.
Nice.
Had a chance to watch this Bill Plimpton movie, and I didn't really know what to expect, because with his movies, they go all over the damn place.
Yep.
But this is kind of spoofing the 1950s coming of age movies, and I had a really fun time with this last third specifically. It really went into a different gear that I wasn't expecting, and really, really enjoyed this.
It is a fun movie. I'm so glad that we got it out.
On the completely different side of the fence, from MVD, I got Knockoff. I'm trying to grab movies that I have seen recently to kind of go over movies that I've watched, and had no idea that Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Schneider were in a movie together, and it's still weird that they're in a movie together. It makes no sense that they're in this movie. It's okay. It's not the greatest, but the transfer is pretty dang solid on here. So if you are a JCVD fan, then I would recommend that one for sure. And then one that I found at Walmart for $10, they have this new end cap of 2000s movies. And I didn't own this in the collection. It's a Shout Select title. And I love me some Tenacious D. So I got Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny. This was going for
was at Walmart. That's wild.
This was going for $18-20, and now it's $10 at Walmart. There's also the Shout Select version of Little Nicky over there too, if you don't have that. So
interesting.
Just an FYI.
I don't have Little Nicky, so that's intriguing.
You should go and look. But I'll open up this sucker right now live. Normally I film videos on this, but I think they'll be okay if I open this one for a different audience, I guess.
You're still advertising for them.
Absolutely, right? Yeah. I'm showing off their logo very proudly. I like this company a lot because they go above and beyond to package your stuff as crazily great as possible. You go in here, you got some nice packaging. You open it up, you got even more packaging right there. And it looks like these are my Vinegar Syndrome orders, so that's nice.
Nice.
so much. This is why editing comes into play when I do these unboxings, because man, it's great to see, but
packaging
it also takes a long
in
time
packaging
to unbox. Yeah. We also have these bubble mailers, which I really like because they're like envelopes.
I reuse those so much.
Yeah. First one up is Demon Warp, if I can get it out here. There we go. A movie I have not seen, but I've heard very weird ass things about. Have you seen this one, Ryan?
It is a weird ass movie. I hope you love it.
It's kind of bizarre. It didn't get like the VSU treatment. It's weird that this movie is just in like a little slipcover like this, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, and that's one that people have wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I've heard. That's one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to pick it up. And this movie I wanted to pick up because in just the past few months, I've been really craving to watch erotic thrillers again. Bring them back, Ryan. Bring them back.
I wish I could.
When I saw that Body of Evidence was getting a nice 4K like this from Vinegar Syndrome, I picked this up pronto because I've probably seen 4 or 5 of them in the past like 60 days or so. Have never seen Body of Evidence. All I know is Madonna and Wax. Like those are the only elements that I know of this movie.
That's all you need to know.
So I'm hoping it's good. And a lot of Vinegar Syndrome titles have had William Dafoe in it for like I don't know, past like 6 months or so. So yeah, excited to dig into this sucker.
And they've even gotten him for some new interviews, which has been pretty surprising to see.
Yeah. What did I watch recently? Red Rose Hotel, I think is what it was called. Yeah. Brand new interview with him. Watched it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you want any Vinegar Syndrome titles and you go to themovieroom.com, you can use discount code SteelBook10. Save 10% on new release stuff. So that's always kind of nice. I'm done pitching and plugging, Ryan.
Always be selling.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, something like that.
Since I wasn't here last week, I've got like 4 or 5 things that I wanted to talk about. But first, contributor copy from Saturn's Core of the Stupefying Tales of Pamela Such. This is a compilation of all of Pamela's films, assisted with the audio commentaries on this one. Great, interesting, like almost Looney Tunes-esque movies that people need to see to believe. They're great. Third Window Films doesn't get enough love. Brand new release of the Angel Guts collection. Still missing the one film out of the collection, but it's because the actress basically said that it can't be released, so it's not going to be released. From a company that you're intimately familiar with, Umbrella. Got the Thai horror collection in. This was just on sale with them. So here is that. Very interested to check out some of those because I've never seen any of them. And you've been on some Umbrella titles recently. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. A24 got in their newest zine. It's got the pillion cover and they've got a little poster type thing for the next film they've got coming out. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a Patreon for a group called I'm not remembering their name, and I should. Layered Butter. Layered Butter is a group that has put out art books, essentially, with some articles mixed in, and that sounds like I'm describing old Playboys. It's not. It is primarily based on films and pop culture, and they started a Patreon for mini posters, and I'm a sucker for art, and I'm a sucker for we'll say supporting artists directly, and they are giving a lot of the Patreon money straight to artists. So their newest poster is a cover of The Matrix. And,
that is mini too. I was expecting like Arrow Video level, maybe. Like that's a teeny guy. That's. Do you have a place to put those? Oh, postcard. Got it. That's so very cool.
There are 5 of them in here, so I can keep 2 of them and share art with other people that I want to share.
That's really cool. Yeah.
That is the fun part.
I also do a series. I do a series of videos called Physical Media Pen Pals, and I would love to do like postcards with actual art to kind of ship out to people.
Actual art, speaking of, this is the newest issue of my magazine, The Physical Media Advocate. We've got really, it's my favorite cover. It's the female prisoner scorpion cover. Incredible issue this month. Maybe my favorite one that we've ever done, genuinely. Check it out. You can get it on Amazon and about 15 or 16 stores in person around the U.S. and one in Canada now. I am so stoked to be able to have that out there. And then the last thing, hopefully he's listening to this, patron of the show, Tony Youngblood, he and I were shooting some ideas back and forth for genre labels for your collection. And I've tried this a couple times in the past, and I couldn't get it done in a way that appeased the idiotic OCD side of my brain and my collection. And Tony put these together. These are 3D printed, and they are coming with an L-shaped bracket. This is it. And it's got this groove around one side. So you stick the bottom portion of this in between two releases. The groove is sticking out towards the edge of your shelf. And the labels themselves here are, they fit directly into the groove. Here's fantasy, dance, and musical. So when they're up, hanging in your collection, you can put these in the groove and they're completely visible on the side. They look like the old VHS stickers. Yeah. They look like they can be peeled off. They are different colors. There are like 40 options that he sent in here.
Jeez.
This is incredible. Tony, you're amazing. Thanks for doing this. Absolutely incredible to get this in the mail from you. Came very quickly all the way from Nashville. So amazing. Thank you.
Well, here's a good improv question for you, Ryan. How do you categorize your collection? Do you go by genre? Or is there any other way?
I don't. Right now, it is there space over in that stack? Then put it there. But before that, I really like the way that labels look together, especially when they're all designed the same way. So I was going within the label, if they have spine numbers, going by spine number order. And then I got everything on the wall, and then I realized I don't want to watch a movie based on the spine number. I want to look at it based on the title or the genre. And those are the only two ways I should have done this. So although it looks beautiful when it's done right, holy shit, is it rough to find things sometimes, especially if you have, now this is going to sound like bragging, and I don't have them anymore, but when I had every single Vinegar Syndrome title ever released, and I went, I know Vinegar Syndrome released that, I have no idea where in the 580 titles it came out. So I'm sitting there going, nope, nope. And now I'm like 7 rows down, and you're like, where the hell is it? It sucked to do that. But it did kind of like burn into my brain eventually. So on one hand, I think it taught me my collection a little bit better, but that's not a great thing, especially for other people. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I clean this up, I'm about to sell a shit ton of titles. So if people are after some of my stuff, send me a DM and maybe you can get a sneak peek at some things. But when I go back to reorganize, it'll probably either be by title or by genre, and then title within the genres. What about you?
I worked at Hollywood Video for 10 months up until the whole franchise closed in college. Like, I had like a bucket list of things I wanted to do in college. Working at a movie store was definitely one of them. And so it imprinted in my brain to go alphabetically. They go alphabetically up by genre. I just did alphabetically, and I've grown into this boutique room. So now I do by label alphabetically. That's just how my brain is wired, and it's a lot easier to find that than it is by spine number. Friend of the channel, Films by Color DJ, he has a lot of criteria on movies, and he does it by the number. I think he's a maniac for doing that. I wouldn't be able to find anything, but he has the numbers memorized of when they came out. So however your brain works, just kind of put them up like that.
Yeah, and there's, I mean, the amount of other people's collections that I've seen now doing this for so long. I've seen people go by director, by release year, by country, by there's been a couple by spine color. I've never understood that one. Mm-hmm.
It looks very nice on the shelf, though. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah. But I certainly don't think I definitely want to watch a red spine title tonight.
No, I've never had that feeling in my life.
Well, what about some recent watches? What have you been checking out recently? Because thankfully, one thing that I do appreciate about you, sir, specifically, there are other people that talk about collecting. Mm-hmm. Not only do you talk about collecting, you talk about watching things. So what have you been watching?
I for the past 2.5 years, I've put up a movie review a day on Letterboxd. That's just something that I like to do. I won't be able to watch every single movie in my collection. I know that. But if I can attack the ones that I haven't seen, just to kind of inch that pie closer, the pie chart, I have the My Movies app, and I can categorize them by movies I've watched in my collection and movies I haven't. And I'm very close to that 50-50 split in my collection. I don't like that whatsoever. So the movies that I have watched are either movies that recently, I guess, I've been trying to go back to like classic movies instead of like trying to keep up with new releases. I do that too. But last week was one where I'm like, I just want to unwind and watch like a classic movie. So I rewatched No Country for Old Men for the first time. And ever since it came out, watched the Criterion edition. That transfer looks phenomenal if you haven't seen it. And the movie is also phenomenal. Shocker there. But I did watch The French Connection for the first time. I'm trying to go through the director's filmography. I've watched a handful, and Yeah, French Connection. It's okay. I guess I wanted to like it a little bit more, but
Yeah.
the action, like that car chase scene, is so damn good. And even like there's a little tiny action scene with a car going over a bridge, going back over, and the shootout afterwards. I think that I don't know. He's got an eye for action. He doesn't really bust it out that often, but when he does, it usually puts a big smile on my face.
Not to mention that scene influenced so many movies after that.
Yeah.
You can literally see the DNA from that scene.
Well, and that was shot illegally. Like they did not let the city know at all. People were randomly going in. The car crash that you do see was accidental. Yeah. Like that whole approach to that movie that he took, specifically in that action sequence, absolutely wild. And there's a great. It doesn't have a 4K yet. I watched the Blu-ray. There's a great special feature on just like them filming that scene shot for shot, and definitely worth a watch. And it was a very, very interesting movie. And I'm glad that I had the physical media. I don't know if the streaming kind of put in the bigotry at the beginning back. I know that was a big deal when they took it out. I don't know if they ever reversed course, but I think that's important for his character. Like if that's not there, you don't really hate him as much. And I don't think you're supposed to root for this man at all.
I would agree. Yeah. Good movie. Good movie. Censorship shucks. That was not the right way to say that. Censorship shucks. Never mind. Censorship shucks. I have some interesting things to talk about this week. Since I was not here last week, I was at a documentary film fest in Columbia, Missouri, and checked out a handful of titles there. I also went and saw The Bride in theaters this last weekend. Long story short on The Bride, very stylish, very bombastic, very incredible performances from everybody. Is it a great movie? Not even remotely close. Is it a super entertaining movie that I think pretty much everybody should see and would likely enjoy in some ways? Absolutely, yes. Even though it's not a great movie, it's still a 4-star movie for me. I think that the plot is scattered. I think a couple of things don't really work, but everything else that does works better than most other films that take tiny swings. And this is a huge swing, and it worked very, very well. Jessie Buckley deserves all the awards ever, and thankfully she will win in 3 days. So congrats to her.
I was going to say, thankfully, the voting was already done before The Bride came out. It's kind of what I've heard. I mean, she definitely goes for the fence in that movie from what I've heard, but a lot of things don't work, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree. And then some other things. So the documentaries, there is one near and dear to my heart, a movie called Seas that I got to see finally. It's about a small town in Kansas where the local police force came in and seized their county's newspapers, their electronic devices, their cell phones, went to the house of the editor and walked in with a warrant that they unjustifiably got, took his personal computer and cell phones. His 97-year-old mother was in the house there who used to run the newspaper. And the day after this illegal seizing, she passed away. And it seems like it's from the stress of this situation because it came in and harmed the whole family. They ended up suing the city, and it's this long, very interesting look at small town controversies and how they can affect people, and about fighting the First Amendment rights in small towns that don't get proper news coverage for stuff like this. And thankfully, this one did. And because when you go against a hard-nosed journalist, he's going to get the word out. And it is something that I think everybody should see. It's a very important movie for right now. And that led into my second important movie, which is a movie called First They Came for My College. It is about a college out of Florida that has essentially been taken over by people from different ideologies. They changed the board of trustees. They changed the onboarding requirements. They rooted certain people out of the college to change the way that it was developing students in the state, and it was a crazy time. There's so much that I could describe, and don't need to get into the political side of it, but it is something that is terrifying, and nobody should be able to do that. It is awful, but go watch the movie. It is great. It should be coming to probably another festival near you soon, and eventually I imagine something like that will probably be on like HBO Max. It's that type of a documentary, that or Netflix, something like that. Theater wise, you go, how many times do you go to theater every year? Because you're a big defender of it, like myself.
I am, yeah. Recently though, like the past couple of times that I've went, I've had negative experiences, which kind of sours me from going as often. But tomorrow, the family and I are going to go see Hoppers, and this will be their first movie in 4DX with like moving seats and the mist whenever like it's like raining or something like that. My wife and I saw Send Help like that. Awesome experience for that movie.
Yeah.
I thought it really elevated it, so I'm hoping Hoppers does the same thing. I plan on seeing Project Hail Mary on Monday with that Amazon exclusive showing.
Nice.
I try to go as often as I can, but with 2 little ones in elementary school, I don't go as often as I'd like. But a handful of times a month is what I try to strive for.
I miss it. Up until December, I was going every single weekend, and now
That's wild. You went to like 3 or 4 movies on a Sunday, like it was crazy.
Yeah. But my biggest day last year, I went to 5 back to back on a Sunday, and it's a damn good day to do that. I will say. I
just crave a double feature, Ryan. I couldn't imagine seeing 5 movies in theaters in one day. I would explode with happiness.
It is heaven, and be able to get like unending diet soda refills all day, a couple large popcorns throughout the day, not have to actually eat food and just live off of popcorn. Mm-hmm. That is a good day. I wanted to talk about something, and I don't want to awkwardly put you in a spot. So if you want me to pull you off the screen, I happily will. It's nothing political or anything like that, but it is quite personal. I didn't know what I was going to say about this, so a lot of this is off the cuff, not prepared. 2 days ago, I walked into, a lot of people here know this, I work for the federal government, have for the last almost 17 years of my life. 2 years ago, I walked in and resigned from my job on the spot. I am moving into a time where I cannot stand what is happening with this administration, so I wanted to walk away from that. I'm also in a period of my life where I'm meeting, not to brag at the same time while I'm talking about this, but we met with Fathom Events today. Now I've got a relationship with Fathom Events to put some of our films in theaters across the country through Fathom.
You better puff up your chest about that, bud. That's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was a good day. So while doing that, I can't really work at the government at the same time. And so I think that I'm on the cusp of something incredible, and I need more time for that. And so over the next 2 months, I'm going to be putting all my time into this and essentially hope that the country's got me and that people will come out and support Antenna in a way that I can support you all back in return and keep prices low to keep you included, to keep you interested with great movies, to curate in ways that you can understand and trust our taste and flavors. And all that means is I need support more than ever. So please watch more of the videos. If you want to join the Patreon, link is in the description below. I would say if you want sign up for a year in advance, you get like a 10% discount. I would say get into our Discord. It is by far the most supportive movie community I've ever seen on the internet. And I don't say that just because it's me. If this was anybody else's Discord, I would say the same thing. The people here are just immense. Half the people in the chat right now are close friends because I've lived in that Discord with them for the last 4 years. It is a wonderful time. We do monthly watch-alongs in our Discord where I supply you the movie. And I will say, if you're in there, last month, I showed everybody Stolen Kingdom. Nobody else has had a chance to see it. And you might get more and more of those early viewings like that. So please check it out. I am terrified. I will say that. After having mental stability for supporting a family for 17 years, I don't have that safety net now. And you all could help be a good safety net. So I appreciate you.
First off, congratulations. I know you got to be shitting bricks for doing what you did. But if I were in your shoes, I would always have like a what if that didn't come to pass, Yeah. So I am very excited for what the future holds. I think you're onto something great here. And you were the busiest man that I know of, juggling as many things as you did with work, a 9-to-5 that you had. I can't imagine how Tasmanian devil you're going to go when you're all in for this. So yeah, I'm very excited for you, man.
Let's say the last 3 days, I don't think I've had a moment that wasn't with a meeting because of it. I saw that it was about to happen. I said, okay, let's schedule every meeting, and now let's get it done. So thank you for everybody that's already there. I don't want to minimize the amount of people that are in there already, but just to say we love to build a community. So if you want to come in there, please join. We'd love to have you. You guys are incredible, and I am so eager for increased mental health and very, very excited for that. But I missed last week, and I'm excited to talk about releases. So let's talk about some goddamn physical media. All right, coming soon on 4K and Blu-ray from Fun City Editions, a film that I'm kind of shocked they are doing on 4K. It is Spike of Bensonhurst from 1988. This is starring Ernest Borgnine. And God, I love the way that they did the art on this. We've got Paul Morrissey film. We don't have a release date for it yet, the way that Fun City's been doing it. I'm about probably 2 months out on this, I would imagine. 2.5 months, something like that. This is going to be a limited edition site exclusive slipcover with new artwork by Colin Murdoch, double-sided wrap. We've got a booklet new essay by Margaret Barton Fumo. We got a newly recorded audio commentary by Will Morris, an image gallery, a trailer on here, newly recorded video interviews with the casting director and the DP, plus some archival extras. Fun City, have you been keeping tabs on them much?
Not as much as I would like to. I have a handful of their releases, but nothing crazy. And I see a couple people in the chat. Is that the guy from Step by Step on there? That looks exactly like him. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, I'm from Iowa. I always love me some Ernest Borgnine. Also, Iowa native, Iowa born. So, this is definitely on my radar for sure. I've never heard of this movie, if I'm being honest, though.
I got to be honest, neither had I until this announcement. So yeah, this is an interesting one. It is a very it's a very Fun City choice is probably the best way to say that. They are all about these titles that have not gotten enough love and respect in their time, and then every once in a while they will put out something incredible, like Ladies and Gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains that they just did. Mm-hmm. But this is now their second 4K, so it must mean that Fabulous Stains did pretty well, and now they're all about this one. So we shall see. Next up, The Bride. We got this, honestly, a pretty clever steelbook design here. I love the minimalism that they went with here. You can pre-order this. This is not an exclusive. This is available on Groove, on Amazon, on Walmart, a whole bunch of places. They're also, I think I put it in here. Oh, it's this one specifically. There's also a standard 4K Blu-ray, DVD. So if you don't want the steel, you don't have to get it. Thankfully, Warner is still doing pretty good to offer both options, which I wish more companies would.
Well, I'm hoping that they can do it for as long as possible with the whole merger that's going to happen. We still don't know who would. I mean, it's being called at Paramount, but it hasn't been finalized yet. I'm very pessimistic about it, I guess, because when Skydance took over Paramount, they have not released a lot of physical media releases, so it makes me nervous.
Well, not only that, the rumor is when that whole Skydance thing happened, literally their entire physical media side that was creating it inside was all cut. And so the only thing that we can really hope for is licensing. But the reality is, are they going to license the big titles?
I doubt it. It's not happening with Paramount. So why would they do it?
Why would they?
WB. And WB has such a great team right now. They're firing on all cylinders. Like probably my favorite transfers that come from a major studio. So I don't want to see them being fucked with. And I feel like the ripcord is just going to be pulled from them. And I'm going to be so heartbroken.
I agree. And with the whole Paramount, WB, Netflix love triangle thing that was happening, the reality is no matter who won, we all lose. Whether it be Netflix, whether it be Paramount, whether it be the government stepping in and saying that neither one can purchase it, Paramount's still in trouble. They're still in a shit ton of debt. So no matter what, the outcome, it was kind of dire. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Next up, a film that I did not get to see last year, but I'm dying to see. May 19th, we are getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD of Arco. This is coming from Neon and Decal. This is an animated film from last year. It is nominated for Best Animated Feature on Sunday. And some people think that this has an actual chance. I'm not so sure that it does, but... I mean,
it's K-pop, unfortunately.
It's going to be K-pop.
K-pop is a fine movie. I have never seen Arco, but it's got a hell of a cast, and it just looks like color gasms out the eyeballs, and I love that with my animated movies.
Yeah, it's incredible animation. So dying to see this. This is going to be a 2-disc set if you buy the 4K. You've got combo pack release with HDR. You've got French and English audio tracks on here. 3 exclusive interviews. We've got a bunch of featurettes behind the scenes, animation to animation featurettes, song in color with the composer, teasers, trailers, storyboards, sketches. Pretty much everything that you could want on a title like this, it's got it. And so I definitely want to check this one out. Looks pretty good. Next up is one that I did not see because I'd never heard of this before it was announced. April 21st from Bleecker Street. There's a Blu-ray and DVD coming of Stray Kids, The Dominate Experience. This is another K-pop group, and it's a live concert performance. Have you been bit by the K-pop drug?
I just had a conversation with my oldest daughter today that K-pop is her favorite form of music now, and she's got a tiny, small but mighty record collection, and she wants to add some K-pop to her vinyl collection. So
yeah,
that'll be next up. I will get a crash course very soon. I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
VCI next, putting out Poverty Row Classics #2 on May 12th. This is a Blu-ray double feature of East Side Kids and That Gang of Mine. The reality is with these, there's never any bonus features. You're basically getting, I kind of want to do HD in quotes because it's VCI, so it's not always even properly HD, but this likely is the best that these are going to look ever. And so if these are films that you've been interested in or that you love or that you've never seen and you're dying to see, this will likely be the best way to see them. Just don't count on crisp restorations necessarily.
Normally when these get released, you're just happy to have them type of deal.
Yeah. Next up, May 12th, Blu-ray coming from Alliance, which, just a reminder, that is Mill Creek. So if it's weird seeing a different company associated with Ultraman, it's because it is still Mill Creek. This is Ultraman Great and Ultraman Powered, the complete series. This spans from 1990 to 93. I did not see any extras listed for this, but I know that these are a couple series people have been after for a while. And I got to be honest, I had dabbled in the Ultraman thing. I had no idea that they could mine this for like the last 6.5 years and just keep them coming.
I've been a partner with Mill Creek for about 3 years, and I have probably got sent 20 different iterations of Ultraman. And I had no idea that IP went that deep. It's crazy.
And supposedly there's still some that people are longing for, which means there's probably more coming from Alliance.
Yeah, until the end of time.
Yeah, most likely. June 9th, we are getting a Blu-ray from Cleopatra Records of Diana, Iron Maiden's Lost Singer from 2025. This is a pair of fans of the heavy metal band Iron Maiden launch a crowdfunding campaign to help Paul Di'Anno, a.k.a. The Beast, the band's iconic original singer on the band's first 2 albums, Iron Maiden and Killers, get back on his feet literally, emotionally, and professionally. Looks like a fun release if you're a fan of the band, and lots and lots to cover there. Interesting choice.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is The Gay Desperado, also coming from VCI. This is on June 9th. This is from 1936. Now, I know I just stated that VCI is usually not something that we can count on. That being said, I can pretty much guarantee this one is going to look great because this is done with the support of the Mary Pickford Foundation.
Oh, nice.
And every single release that the Mary Pickford Foundation has had a hand in has turned out immaculate. Yeah. So very much interested in this. To get a title from 1936 that is probably going to be, I don't know, $17 on release in really great looking restoration. I mean, that's a win-win for all of us. Next up, this beautiful steelbook of Eraser, where they erased the cover art. 1996's Eraser coming, it sounds like it's going to be June 16th, but that's not been confirmed yet. Coming in a 4K steelbook in the US and the UK. Obviously, this is not the final cover art, but they will update this later after you've all paid for it and have it on the way to you, even if you hate the cover art. Jake, tell me that I'm not the only one that thinks this is a terrible plan.
You know how I just praised Warner Brothers, Ryan? Like, this is like one of my major gripes with them because it's happened numerous times. The one I can remember is Constantine, to where like they did this with their logo. That steelbook ended up being one of my favorites of the year. That steelbook was an absolute stunner. I just wish I knew what I was buying. Like that's the craziest part to me. And they have the inside art, but not the outside. I don't know what holds them up with these releases.
Especially because I think it's been like the last 3 or 4. We've gotten fairly early leaks at a few of them, and nothing ever changes. They did similar things with like the Beetlejuice one a couple years ago in the UK, and it was exactly the same as the artwork to be confirmed later. It's the exact same thing. If you know what it's going to be, just share it.
Yep. It shouldn't be that hard, and they plan these out so far in advance that like you would think that they would have this readily available, and they just are deciding to fuck with us. I have no idea. I don't like it though, Ryan. I don't like it.
I also don't like paying for something that I don't know what I'm getting. That is the big thing. And really, the only reason to buy a extra expensive steelbook of one of these is if you love the art. And the hard part is they're not releasing the standard up with this in the US most likely, which means if you don't get the steelbook, you're screwed.
With Constantine, they had a couple different versions, and I know I don't know if Eraser is a big enough title to get both a standard and a steelbook. I think they might go one way or the other, and that way might be steelbook. But this is a Schwarzenegger blind spot for me. I've never seen Eraser.
It's been a long time.
A movie that was very like, yeah, if you like Schwarzenegger, here's something to feed into your veins. I guess you'll like it. I guess.
It's been a long time, but I remember it being like the top of the bottom tier, essentially, in my view. So. That being said, I'd still like to have maybe every Arnold Schwarzenegger on 4K in the best that it could be. I don't know. It's fine. Next up, this has been an interesting saga to watch. So April 21st, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is being released. Now, previously, this was sort of being reported to be only Blu-ray and DVD coming out. Well, they changed course last week and put this out on 4K. Now, the big story with this is that this was doing so well in the theaters, and not even necessarily monetarily, but word of mouth wise. They kept not having drop-offs. They kept doing about the same level, and they weren't making a ton of money, but they were making money. They just kept it in theaters, and that fervent support led to them seemingly upgrading this to 4K. Now, also, if you went on the day that they announced the Blu-ray, everybody in the comment section was saying, this is a movie that has to be on 4K, and I will wait for the 4K. So maybe they just actually paid attention and said, ooh, maybe we should invest in that. But I do love seeing this. I do love a studio that will listen. It's also, it's Universal, which has been known to do a Blu-ray and then 6 months later put out a 4K. So to see them willing to change course on this gives me a little bit of hope for the future. Did you see Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die?
I was actually one of the many, I guess, that saw it later in its theatrical run. I saw it like the fourth weekend, and I liked the concept. I'm a sucker for a good time travel movie, and I liked the first 2/3 of this movie. I thought the final act was a little bit, I don't know, boring. I guess it went crazy, but it went crazy for crazy's sake. It didn't go crazy to have like a great idea. Yeah, have you seen it, Ryan?
I've not. I'm dying to see it, especially because I love Gore Verbinski. And so to see him back making a big movie that's getting a lot of praise, it makes me a little happy.
I feel like not enough people talk about A Cure for Wellness. I love that movie. And the way that third act revealed itself, I fell head over heels for. Kind of the opposite way with like A Cure for Wellness, I think built very greatly. Yeah. This one has a hell of an opening. And for me, the longer it goes on, the less I was kind of intrigued to watch it.
I will state, and this is just a dumb, nerdy millennial reference for anybody, but back in the day, in the early days of YouTube, there was a character called Ask a Ninja, and he did a supercut thing one time, and somebody asked him about Pirates of the Caribbean, and one of the best jokes ever, he said, it needed a little more gore and a lot less Verbinski, and I've stood by that, and I think that's hilarious, and the world needs more Gore Verbinski. Next up, this has been an interesting week for this as well. So June 10th, Madman in Australia is releasing a 4K box set with one Blu-ray included of an Akira Kurosawa collection. Now, this is going to have all kinds of the 4K discs that have been released worldwide already multiple times over, and Redbeard on 4K. And it's also going to get a Blu-ray of another disc that's going to have 7 episodes of Toho Masterworks. It's Wonderful to Create, offering insights in the making of these enduring classics. Now, it's got Ikaru, it's got Seven Samurai, it's got Throne of Blood, it's got The Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, Sanjuro, High and Low, Redbeard, and then Akira Kurosawa, It's Wonderful to Create. It is $180 USD. Honestly, not a bad price, but the big toss-up here is it's Madman out of Australia. Now, they're not known for being awful, and to be frank, Criterion's kind of known for being pretty poor with their encoding. So it's kind of a toss-up to pick up this from Madman instead of Criterion, but really, I think BFI is probably the way to go on these if they're going to get all of them. The other thing that people should know, I believe Redbeard is just an upscale to 4K. So if that's something that would bother you, you might just pick up the individuals from BFI. Any thoughts on Kurosawa or Madman from you?
I am such a terrible foreign film watcher. It's sad. I want to get into more of them, but working my 9-to-5 job and dealing with family, and like my only free time on the weekdays is going downstairs to watch it after everyone's in bed. The more I read subtitles, the more I get sleepy at that time of night. So Kurosawa is a director that I have not really dug into that much. So like this box set, it kind of like screams to me. I wish I knew how it opened and what it looked like with all the stuff inside of the box. Yeah. But all these titles on 4K, if you're a fan of the director, and you don't own any of them, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a pretty great price to get all of them at once. I will say that. I see. I hate to say this name out loud. I'm sorry. This is not meant to hurt you. Mr. A Fat Man in the chat says, "Didn't Madman stop releasing discs at one point?" I don't know that they like announced that they stopped, but I believe they like slowed way down before they released some things. So I may be wrong there. And Terry, you might know since you're a native Australian. If you know the answer, let me know, Terry. I'd love to hear it. Let's see. Next. There's a Kickstarter going on for Castration Movie Anthology 3. Obviously, we just talked about Castration Movie because it was just released through Vinegar Syndrome this month on Blu-ray by Muscle, brand new partner label. You can see an interview with Liz Purcell on the channel from Muscle. And they are already about to make the third one. And I believe there's supposed to be 4 or 5 total. And so they plan on doing a lot of these. But the big thing is these are long films. Each one of these is like 4.5 or longer hours. Kind of crazy, but they do these pretty special editions for their Kickstarters. So if you want to support, this is the best time to do it before the Kickstarter ends. And they actually have a bundle, so you can go back and get the original Kickstarter exclusive versions of the first 2 as well to have the matching extra special editions of all 3. Terror Vision is a name that we have not been talking about much recently because they've been facing some manufacturing woes, and finally they are coming off on the other side of that. And so at the time, we are seeing some of their discs start to ship that were put up for pre-order in the 13 weeks of Halloween. We are getting a brand new slipcover art for Dante's Inferno, which I got to admit, this is an easy contender for best slipcover of the year so far for me. This is freaking beautiful. Love this release. If you've never seen Dante's Inferno, it's from 1911. I don't remember how many. Does it say on here? There's 3 different restorations and I think 3 different score options. So even each score and restoration can be intertwined. So there's literally like 9 versions or 6 versions, something like that you can watch on this disc.
That's crazy.
I'm bad at doing the math in my head, but it's a lot and it's crazy. Love that they did this. This is incredible. Check it out if you don't have the original slipcover. They also are releasing a standard edition of Sledgehammer, and I should say that for Dante's Inferno and this, they're both shipping immediately. They've been in their warehouse for a while, but they didn't want to piss people off and put these up before the other ones could start shipping. So now that they got some of those, if you got one of those shipping, you can order this with it as well.
This past like year and a half for TerraVision, it's just been like bad luck. Like stacked on top of each other with the whole warehouse woes, them having to move, and then production issues on a lot of their stuff. It's just they can't catch a fucking break. It sucks.
Yeah, it's been a while. I know a lot of people are worried about Gatorbait, as we've got Sibner asking about it. Gatorbait supposedly might finally be shipping next month, and I know that's crazy because that's literally 11 months after announcement. But we were trying to go for the best product, and we were told, I believe, all in 4 different times that somebody had found the missing reel. We had to check it out, literally. Otherwise, why would we release it in an inferior way? So I'm glad that we went the distance, and we got now even more footage than we thought was possible for the film. So check it out.
Yep. Make it worth the wait, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
May 5th, we're getting a 4K steelbook of a sci-fi classic. It Came from Outer Space from 1953. It's got a 4K disc, a Blu-ray disc, and a digital copy, and it does have, I believe, the 3D version on the Blu-ray disc. Nice. Have you seen It Came from Outer Space?
I haven't, but this artwork on the steelbook does not make it look like it's from the 50s. I can tell you that much. That looks more like an animated movie or something you'd see off of like Star Trek Discovery than anything else.
I'm probably going to piss some people off in the chat. I'm not a 50s sci-fi guy. I will say I think the art on this is much better than the movie. But this is a great looking steelbook, and people should see this at least once. And Cinema Force is asking, isn't this already on 4K from imprint? Not only is it already on 4K from imprint, it's already on 4K from Universal. They're just trying to milk more money out of the physical media crowd. So this is really only if you desperately want the movie on 4K and you don't have the original one. Otherwise, there's not really a reason to get this. All right. Now, the next sort of weird story of the week. Neon is releasing No Other Choice from last fall on 4K and Blu-ray this October. October, almost a full year after the film was released in theaters. It's an award season snub. It's a film that people have been dying to see. It's one that is still playing in some theaters. This is going to have two different versions of the film. We got the theatrical cut and an expanded cut, which I'm excited to see. But this is a film that is directed by Park Chan-wook that I adored. This has a 32-page deluxe hardcover book with it. It's got a making of that's 30 minutes behind the scenes. If you buy it from the Neon website, you get these two enamel pins at the bottom, which they're cute and all. But after shipping and taxes, this one film and two pins, $84, Jake.
My God.
$84.
I like that that Neon is taking the A24 approach, it looks like, with some of their packaging. I wonder what the size is, if it's more of like just your standard size, or if it is going to be like a giant A24 size. You can't really tell from that image. I guess with the discs in there, if it is like to scale, it'd probably be more like a regular case. I wonder if it's taking so long because they're trying to figure out like major like packaging, just making sure distribution wise it goes smoothly. I don't know why they would announce it so early on in the process.
This is very interesting. I feel like I don't know, they got to recoup some money or something like that, but it's kind of weird. It's also going to be on Amazon, and what's interesting here is I believe the packaging wise, it'll mirror what they did for Old Boy. Did you ever see that one in person?
I love that. I have it. Yeah, I love that edition. But that edition was like $50. I don't know why this is adding on an additional 30.
Old Boy was 60,
was
at retail when it released, and so this has two pins on top of it. And enamel pins are certainly not cheap. I will say that. These two pins don't look worth whatever.
Enamel pins are kind of cheap if you order enough of them. Like I've got Steelbook Obsessed enamel pins, and I bought 100 of them, and it ended up being like $3 a piece. So if you
that's to you, not to a consumer. I will say that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like if you buy 1,000 of them, that cost shrinks down to maybe $1.50 a buck, and then
of course,
yeah, for me, $20 for two pins, if that is that real justification, that's wild.
Well, and the film itself is $70. The tax comes out to about $7, and then the shipping they're charging is $7 or $8. So shipping is that expensive. I'm not going to argue with that. Shipping is expensive nowadays, but $84 for one movie, two pins, shipped is so much money.
It's a lot. I might wait until this will probably hit like a Barnes and Noble for hopefully 60 and kind of negate the shipping and pins and all that stuff, and then it's a maybe for me. I still haven't seen No Other Choice. I've heard nothing but great things about it. I will watch it at some point, but I'd want that at some point to be for the first time on 4K. $80 is too much for my blood.
Yeah, and I will say again, not sticking up for the company, but understanding cost a little bit. There are 4 discs here, so I would expect it to be a little more expensive. 2 4K discs, that's a great choice. That is a lot of money to manufacture 2 4K discs. I could have seen $45-50 on this. 70? That's out of my price range. I am priced out on this. Let's get into a much more affordable 4K release. Radiance is putting out a 4K of The Pornographers from 1966. This is a 4K Blu-ray dual format release in the UK only, and this is coming on June 22nd. This is, of course, by Shohei Imamura, and this has been released by Criterion previously. I believe it's still DVD only in the US by them. I may be wrong. Somebody else let me know if I'm wrong there. But all that tells me Criterion likely still has the rights in the US, and now they're likely going to put it out on 4K. So if you just want to wait for a local version, you can probably pick that one up eventually. But this, over in the UK, we are getting an interview with a couple actors. We're getting an interview with Tony Raines, which a lot of people love him. We're getting a TV documentary on Imamura featuring the filmmaker himself, discussing his key films. That's over an hour long.
That's nice.
From back in 95, but I love that sort of an extra. We've got a limited edition booklet with new writing by Jasper Sharp. This is going to be limited to 5,000 copies. That's a pretty big limited edition for Radiance, so check it out if you are into it. And thanks for the affirmation there. It is still DVD only, which means it's likely going to get a 4K and Blu-ray release by Criterion here in the US eventually. The Pornographers, are you going to check this out? I know you're not a super foreign film fan.
I don't mind foreign films.
Or
I just
not a watcher as much as you want.
Right? Yeah. No. This I have no idea what it's about. So I do like Radiance though as a label. Normally for their Blu-ray releases, they limit it to like 3,000 copies. So it's nice to see that for 4K. Hopefully, it stands the test of time. There's not going to be any other format above it, so they print it a little bit extra.
Yep.
So yeah,
a lot of people that love these films are definitely going to import, and then when Criterion releases theirs, will probably not sell nearly as much as it would.
I could see it. I could definitely see it.
All right. Next up is Warm Water Under a Red Bridge from 2001 is coming on June 22nd on Blu-ray over in the UK only. Now, this is UK only because this did just get a Blu-ray release that came out again by Film Movement here in the US. You can pick that up on the Vinegar Syndrome website. This is, I think it says here, I think it's his last film. Yeah, Shohei Imamura's last feature reuniting the cast and crew of his Palme d'Or winning The Eel for a boldly sensuous and taboo-breaking love story. This is going to have a couple brand new things. We got an introduction of the film by Takashi Miike on this, which is really cool. Yeah. Teaser trailer directed by Miike with newly filmed intro, archival discussion with Imamura and Takashi Miike, and then a booklet with this, as usual, with new writing by Bastian Mironi. Yeah, we've got some new extras on this that are not on the Film Movement release. So if you love this movie, you might want to pick up both. There's a reason to there. Next up, Solo from 1970 is coming on June 22nd in the UK, June 23rd here in the US from Radiance. This is about a womanizing violinist and jewel thief played by Jean-Pierre Macchi. Who must abandon his carefree lifestyle when he learns that his younger brother is part of the leftist revolutionary group responsible for the brutal murders of powerful men. Determined to save the life of his idealistic sibling, the cynical drifter becomes embroiled in a struggle that is not his to fight. A decade after appearing in La Tite contre los murs, Jean-Pierre Macchi, I just murdered that. Sorry, Ronnie. Please tell me the right way to say that. I'm not French. Returned to acting with his profoundly satirical crime drama, unflinching and heavily influenced by American cinema. Solo captures the visceral feeling of disillusionment of a post-1968 French society brimming with rage at the sinister powers that be. We've got some archival extras on here. We've got an interview with an actor from 2022, interview with Jean-Pierre Macchi's assistant and friend from 2022, a reversible sleeve, and a booklet with new archival extras in this that is with Macchi as well. Some good stuff.
Yeah, no, from the description that you just read, sounds right up my alley. The artwork looks pretty damn solid too. So,
when does Radiance artwork not look solid? Them and Deaf Crocodile, always the best.
And I'm always a sucker for that middle section can just like go out and get folded back in without having to actually like fold it in half. It just kind of goes in like butter. It's nice.
It is perfect. Mm-hmm. All right. Next up from them is the one that I just mentioned that I don't want to slaughter again.
I think you should, Ryan. Try it again.
Contre le mur, something like that. This is from 1959. Also a Macchi film. This is going to be a 4K restoration supervised by Macchi Delicious Products. There is going to be some archival interviews on here. There's going to be newly improved English subtitles, a reversible sleeve, and a book with writing by Raymond Dergnat. Yeah, I need to check this out because I've heard that all of their stuff is great. Next up, they are doing Volume 6 of their zine that they've been doing over at Radiance. This is Volume 6 of Dirty Art House. This is going to be a UK release, but anybody in the US can pick it up as well. This is coming on June 22nd, so if you pick it up with their June titles, it will ship with them. This one is dedicated to the less discussed side of serious cinema, encompassing the strange, controversial, and difficult films. With new writing from around the world, Issue 6 focuses on family values. We got pieces on happiness, Julian Donkey Boy, I Stand Alone, and Carne, and The Killing of a Sacred Deer, Kat Ellinger on Ana y los Lobos, and then Annie Rose Malamet on La Luna. I kind of really want this one because I love writing on Gaspar Noé.
Yeah, no, I do too. And just like the murderer's row of directors that they decided to pick from here, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Good list here. Mm-hmm. This one's interesting. I know you and I both have quite a bit from Imprint and Via Vision. Yeah. They are putting out a 4K soon of Ace Ventura When Nature Calls from 95? Yeah, 95. This is the sequel to Ace Ventura. How do you feel about Ace Ventura When Nature Calls?
I grew up with both Ace Ventura movies, and when he puts the slinky down that Great Wall, like I still chuckle to this day. I've got a soft spot for this movie. The rhino from this movie is up for sale right now. I don't know if you know that, going out of the bunghole, like still one of my favorite scenes of all time. So I cannot wait to go and see this movie on 4K. I'm assuming this means that there's also going to be a 4K from Shout down the line too. I know that kind of came out in the States, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm going to watch it either way on 4K. I'm kind of excited about this one.
So it did come out in the States for the first one, but I will say this one seems different because Imprint is doing the 4K restoration of this, and they did not do the restoration of the first one. So I'm kind of curious because I can't think of any other Imprint 4K restoration that they've done in-house that has been licensed out to somebody else yet. So it could be the first. It could be the one that goes out there, but I just so happen to have sitting next to me The Last Seduction. I know a lot of people are waiting for this to be released in a more inexpensive version, but Via Vision and Imprint did the restoration for that. So I don't know if it's going to get released because that's a lot of work to just license out to somebody.
I'm excited for this one though, man. I have both the Via Vision and Shout Studios edition of that movie, and I like the lenticular that Via Vision came out with the classic poster artwork. But the steelbook that was inside of there was scratched to shit, and I wasn't the only one that happened to. It happened to a lot of different versions of that I've seen being sent to like some of my fellow social media people. So I don't know if it was just a manufacturing issue and there was nothing that they could do on their end, but a little bit of a bummer, that's for sure.
So Sibner's going to hate that I can do this, but it was literally in the stack next to me. Here is the steelbook. I do have a mark here. It's not a scratch. It's probably, I can probably get that off if I scrubbed it. Thankfully, I'm not seeing scratches.
That's good. Mine look faded and like weathered a little bit, like not like a whole bunch of scratches, but like a lot of different spots. It didn't look that great at all. It was kind of a bummer.
I am kind of curious what that dot is right here. Huh.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I can feel it ever so slightly, but not a dent or anything like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sivner says it's all a conspiracy. Ryan only owns 20 movies. Yep, that's what this means.
Add a couple of zeros onto that 20, then maybe.
All right, let's get into some old titles. We got 1933's International House coming on April 21st from Universal. This is a George Burns film. We got W.C. Fields in this. This is a pre-code film that I've not checked out any of these mod titles that Universal's been doing, but I gotta be honest, I'm very curious about this because are they doing full-blown HD restorations, or is this like let's put an older scan up on a Blu-ray just to make some people happy? Has anybody checked out any of these older ones? I'd love to hear some thoughts.
I haven't, but I'm assuming the latter. I'm assuming it's another example of, hey, this is on disc, be happy,
right? Which sucks, but at the same time, this isn't going to sell 5,000 copies or anything, so I get it.
Yep.
All right. Next up from Universal as well on April 21st is The Private War of Major Benson. This one is with Julie Adams and Charlton Heston. Same exact sort of thing. This one's from 1955 from Universal. Breaking the mold a little bit before I go back to Universal. Altitude Film in the UK is putting out Nouvelle Vague from Richard Linklater from last year, which is supposedly amazing. Need to see this. This is about the Godard film Breathless and the making of that, but it's supposed to be just incredible to see. You can check that out now. You can pre-order it. Now, back to some older titles with Warner Archive before we get back to Universal. They announced a ton of stuff this month. Some stuff that looks really great, actually. April 28th, we get a Blu-ray coming of 20,000 Years in Sing Sing from 1932. This is an HD master from 4K scans, the original nitrate camera negative. This is going to have classic WB shorts on here, 2 of them, classic WB cartoons on here, 2 of them, and the original trailer. Are you picking up much from Warner Archive these days?
Again, another handful situation. I'm a lover of the animation that they put out on physical media because they have such a catalog of titles that they're actually utilizing, which is great to see. The Huckleberry Hound box set that they put out, absolutely love that sucker.
It is amazing, and the best part is it looks incredible. It does. Genuinely great-looking Blu-rays, and this is kind of where I wanted to sing the praises of Warner Archive, because this is the opposite of what I was just saying with Universal. Like, it's cool that Universal is releasing stuff on HD, I guess, but if you want to see the way to do it, Warner Archive is doing it not only right, but showing other people how to do it. And it's a masterclass because these will look incredible. Next up from them is King Richard and the Crusaders from 1954. This is also coming on April 28th from Warner Archive. This is 4K scans of the original camera negative as well. You've got classic WB cartoons, Satan's Waitin' and Baby Buggy Bunny, classic Joe McDoke short, So You Want to Be a Banker, plus the original trailer. This one is a George Sanders film, and Virginia Mayo's in this. Supposedly great. Not my style of film, so I will not be checking this one out, but glad for other people.
You had me at Satan's Waitin'. That's a hell of a cartoon title, man.
I got to be honest. I do wish I could buy the shorts on their own without the film because I don't agree. The film. Then we got their second volume of Monogram Matinee. They announced the first one, I believe, just last year. So now we're already getting the second one. This has Louisiana and Song of the Range. These are from 1947 and 44, respectively. This is going to be 4K scans of nitrate fine grain elements. No extras on these ones, but it's a double feature, and it'll still be very interesting at that price. So check it out. Next up is Crack Up from 1946, same day, April 28th. This is going to be, I just knocked off all my genre labels from that. 4K scans of the original nitrate negative on this one. This is going to have subtitles as always, but no new extras on this. Pat O'Brien, Claire Trevor, and Herbert Marshall. I assume you have not seen Crack Up yet?
A lot of these older Warner Archives things, like I wish that I have seen, but I am such a...
Same.
Nothing. Nothing for you. I feel like I'm just silent in the corner over here, Ryan.
I'm learning every single month. Next, a title that I'd not heard of, but now looks quite good, actually. 1937's Captains Courageous, coming from Warner Archive on the same day. This is with Freddie Bartholomew, Spencer Tracy, Lionel Barrymore, and Melvin Douglas, directed by Victor Fleming, a name that you will likely recognize. This one is 4K scans of the best preservation elements. We got an MGM cartoon, The Wayward Pups, MGM Robert Benchley short, How to Start the Day, Leo's on the Air, Captains Courageous radio promo, which I love that Warner Archive includes a bunch of those on a lot of their stuff. They get like the old Lux Radio Theater plays. And then, of course, the original trailer on here. Fun looking set. This looks like a good release. Cinema Force says Warner Archive is the most important work being done in film preservation right now. It's up there for sure. Yep. Next from Warner Archive is a title that I am kind of shocked it took this long to come to Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But 1990's Private Benjamin with Goldie Hawn. This will also have on here 2 episodes of the Private Benjamin TV series. Any thoughts on Goldie Hawn or Private Benjamin?
I had no idea it had a TV series, which is kind of a pleasant surprise to actually have some of those episodes on here. Warner Archive, for special features, always think outside of the box and just throw some random crap. Sometimes it relates to whatever you're buying. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'm always happy that it's there, Ryan. Private Benjamin's a movie that I've wanted to watch and I have not seen. So I will be picking up this Blu-ray for sure.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn, kind of always amazing and pretty much everything that she does. So I would very much like to see this cleaned up and on HD. So I will get this one eventually. Mm-hmm. Next up is Aerosmith, not the band, the movie from 1931. This is April 28th from Warner Archive as well. This says it's based on Sinclair Lewis's 1925 Pulitzer Prize-winning novel. Aerosmith is the compelling story of a man torn between 2 sets of values. Ronald Colman stars as Martin Aerosmith, an idealistic small-town doctor and a research scientist who relocates to the West Indies. His determination to end the bubonic plague epidemic there sets off a tragic series of events which force him to come to terms with his career and personal life. This one is going to have like I just mentioned, 1937 Lux Radio Theater with Spencer Tracy and Fay Wray. This film with Fay Wray and Myrna Loy. Lots of big names in this title. And I bet this restoration is going to look great because it was done in 2023 by the Library of Congress themselves in association with the Film Foundation. I definitely want to take this one home with me at some point because it sounds great. Next from Warner Archive is their most odd choice of the month, I feel like. April 28th, we are getting a 4K Blu-ray dual format release of George Stevens, A Filmmaker's Journey from 1984. This is their, I believe, 4th 4K UHD release at this point. I believe they're still supposed to have at least 2 more coming out later this year. So keep an eye out on those. Warner has been making some great choices. You got Gone with the Wind coming soon, Casablanca coming soon. You've got titles that they've really put some love into, and Warner Archive has had their hands in a lot of great restoration stuff that people have been dying to see. But this is wild to get this on 4K. Lieutenant Colonel George Stevens wrote in his wartime journal the title "Life is a Journey," and it's always most interesting when you're not sure where you're going. This is going to have a 2026 4K restoration from the original negative, a 4K Blu-ray combo feature. We've got HDR Dolby Vision on this. Brand new special features, and they went all out on this. We got Christopher Nolan speaking about Stevens' creativity and humanistic ethics of Shane. Guillermo del Toro speaking about Stevens as a modernist auteur and the greatest story ever told as his most ambitious work. And then to round out the trio of greats, Martin Scorsese speaking of Stevens' intensity and artistry and of the greatest story ever told as the final movement of Stevens' multi-picture symphony. This is wild.
Absolutely. Yeah, like it's shocking that a documentary would get a 4K release regardless. And the fact that they're going all out for special features wise for this as well, getting some of the greatest filmmakers making movies now.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get my hands on this sucker. Kind of an odd choice that Private Benjamin did not get a 4K release and this documentary did. But I can't say I'm mad at the choice either. To
be fair, this is likely a more important in the cinematic history realm type of film. So I'm glad that they're swinging for that type of fence. That means a lot, actually.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a documentary, especially about a filmmaker. I've never seen this one, so I'm excited to check it out for the first time.
Speaking of documentary filmmakers, we got Rye Levy here. What's going on, Rye? Welcome. Going to our next one. Another title that I am shocked did not get licensed out to a boutique, even though I know a few that have tried. May 19th, Sony themselves is releasing Adam Rifkin's The Dark Backward from 1991. This is starring Judd Nelson and Bill Paxton in this cult comedy classic. Garbage man Marty tries his hand at a stand-up comedy show, failing miserably until a third arm mysteriously grows from his back. Gus, his accordion player friend, figures out a way to use the new arm and gets them signed with a sleazy talent agent. Just when success seems near, Marty's girlfriend leaves him, and Can the Arm Be Far Behind? Directed and written by Adam Rifkin, who also did Detroit Rock City. And of course, I think it was Decanalog that released all of his like home videos and stuff in a compilation in the last couple of years over at the Vinegar Syndrome website. This is a crazy choice for Sony to do this, but I also feel like any other company would have done this on 4K and gotten all kinds of new special features, and we're getting nothing on this disc. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, especially this screams Vinegar Syndrome to me. Like this type of movie.
Yeah.
Or this is kind of like Freaked territory too with Umbrella. So I would think there'd be a lot of people that would want to put this out. It's weird that it just kind of gets bled out there by Sony. Like, yeah, here it is, I guess. I feel like they could have made more people more happy if a boutique got their hands on this.
Yeah, and the hard part, Sony's not really licensing much to people right now. They used to do more with Shout. They used to do more Indicator back in the day, had all kinds of Shout titles. Not really much happening with Sony. But at the same time, Criterion's got Sony's number, but Criterion's never going to release The Dark Backward by Adam Rifkin.
No. I've never seen this one, but that synopsis sounds wild as hell, and I am very intrigued now. And I love me some Bill Paxton. Who doesn't?
It's a hell of a cast, and it's Adam Rifkin. I mean,
yeah,
Detroit Rock City is incredible.
Yep.
All right. Another crazy choice, but Sony is capitalizing on the Arrow 4K release of Blue Thunder. So on May 5th, we are getting a Blu-ray release of the Blue Thunder TV show starring the one and only Mr. Dana Carvey, Dick Butkus, James Ferrantino, Bubba Smith, Sandy McPeak. This is so odd. Obviously, it's just to try to get the people that are Googling Blue Thunder 4K release or something, but this is wild.
I've never seen a single episode of this, but I've seen clips of Dana Carvey in this. So I don't know if I'd want to add this to the collection, but I am more intrigued about it, I guess. And the mustache on Dick Butkus, I mean, second to none. Top tier mustache there.
He is a star in that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And by he, I did mean the mustache, by the way. Back to Universal, $1 Million Legs with Billy Gilbert, Edward Klein, Ben Turpin. This is a pre-code film from 1932 coming to Blu-ray on April 21st. Another W.C. Fields title. We are getting more and more of those, it feels like, so they must be doing sort of well for them at least. So that's that one. And then I don't even know where to start with this cover art.
It looks terrible. That's where you can start. That looks not right at all. That looks bad. That looks generic. That looks photoshopped all get out. I don't like it.
No, it is not AI. I've seen a lot of people mention that it's AI. It is not. It is just genuinely terrible cover art. It's bad Photoshop.
Yeah.
That is obviously it's 1935, so it's very young. That is George Burns, supposedly.
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. It does not look like the George Burns I know, but the George Burns I know is probably 50 years older than that photo, so who the hell knows?
But even worse, Gracie Allen, what is this? I don't even know here. 1935's Here Comes Cookie, April 21st, coming on Blu-ray. This is wild. Rough choice.
Yep.
Next up, Bing Crosby and W.C. Fields in Mississippi, coming on April 21st. This is from 1935, also starring Joan Bennett, another one that I know nothing about. Next up, okay, this is one of those moments where I'm going to get a little upset here. April 10th, we're getting a Blu-ray from Universal of Midwinter Break, starring Leslie Manville, and yet the Testament of Anne Lee from last year is not getting a physical release. Really? I don't even know where to start with some of these studios.
I don't know if they know where to go either. Like, they're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall, but that movie at least has some brand recognition, some name value. I've never heard of Midwinter Break at all. Like that. Nope. No. Don't even know what to say to this.
I know who Leslie Manville is, but I know a lot more people know who Amanda Seyfried is.
Absolutely.
Come on. Come on. All right, we got some Kino titles that just like we're clogging up the dam, and suddenly they let a whole bunch of them go. So let's talk about these. May 26th, we're getting a 4K Blu-ray dual format release of The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. This is going to have a new audio commentary by the director, Howard Deutsch. We've got that moderated by filmmaker Douglas Hogsdale. New commentary by Joe Ramone. New commentary by Paul Anthony Nelson and Lee Zachariah. Those are the only new extras, but they are 3 commentaries. So that's a lot of extras in terms of the time. But it would be nice to see some like on-camera interviews or something. But it's Kino, so I get it.
I wish Kino did more of that. When they do it, it's actually pretty dang good. Like that Crybaby edition that they came out with, that had so many extras on there, and that was such a nice surprise. I wish that I wish Kino would do that more often. It would be I think it'd be in their benefit to do so. Like, I think people just kind of more or less expect their releases not to have special features, and that's kind of a shame.
That being said, eventually you'll be able to pick this up for $16.
That is also true. Yep.
I can't really complain.
Yep.
Speaking of cheesy 4Ks coming from Kino, May 26th, we are getting Harry and the Goddamn Hendersons on 4K from 1987. Love that they're using one of the original posters on this. Kino is great about that usually. This one is going to have a new audio commentary by the director, William Deere, new audio commentary by Joe Ramone, new audio commentary by Brian Reisman and Max Every, and all kinds of archival extras on the Blu-ray disc, including deleted scenes, theatrical trailer, making of Harry and the Hendersons, a news wrap, and more. Harry and the Hendersons, any thoughts on this one?
I wish they could have got John Lithgow back to talk about Harry and the Goddamn Hendersons. I would love to hear what present day Lithgow has to say about this movie, because this was one for my childhood for sure.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I will definitely pick this up and look forward to showing my kids, because this is a wild movie.
Yeah.
Next, a movie that should never be on 4K. 2017's The Snowman, starring Michael Fassbender, and it's also got Rebecca Ferguson. New audio commentary by Steve Mitchell and Michael Charles Hill. New audio commentary by Howard S. Berger and Mark Edward Hook. I got to ask Howard what he was doing. Why are we talking about The Snowman for 2 new commentaries? Extras on the Blu-ray disc. We had a cast of characters creating the world of the film, The Snowman Killer, Norwegian landscape, stunt files, and a trailer. This is weird.
A group of friends and I every year bring over a movie that we think is like the worst that we haven't seen. Like we've heard nothing but bad things about. The Snowman was the worst movie we watched of that year that I brought it, because this movie should work. The premise is great. It just falls on its face. And I don't know why this movie in particular is getting a 4K release. I despise this movie, Ryan.
I don't even know what to say to this. Like, this is one of those things where in a year where we've literally had titles delayed because of a lack of 4K disc manufacturing, this is taking the spot of some of those, and that sort of thing kind of pisses me off.
Kino has to be hoarding these 4K discs, right? Like, they come out with a bunch of 4Ks, which I'd love to see, but it does stink that the Snowman kind of snuck its way through the goal line here.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say. That's probably already more time than it deserved. So let's just go to the next one, because we're almost done already for the week. Swashbuckler from 1976 getting a Kino release on May 19th. This had been released previously. This is going to have a new audio commentary by Howard S. Berger again and Steve Mitchell. The making of Swashbuckler is also on the disc.
Nice.
We got a trailer on here. This is a Robert Shaw, James Earl Jones, Peter Boyle film. And normally this isn't my style film, but the cast on this makes me feel like I have to see this.
Right. I'm not a big pirate genre fan to begin with, but James Earl Jones on the high seas, I might need to see that.
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
And Robert
not
Shaw,
to mention,
my God, yeah.
Peter Boyle, come on. That'll be great. Let's see. Matt House wants to know, what are the chances that tomorrow we get Criterion announcements? Honestly, this is a terrible answer. Kind of 50-50. Last month, they did it on Friday the 13th as well. This month, will they do the same? Maybe, maybe not. I will say, it looks like K-pop Demon Hunters leaked on Amazon earlier today, so that's likely going to be one of the titles. And the fact that a Criterion title leaked leads me to believe they're probably about to announce. So I'm actually leaning towards tomorrow we're going to get those announcements. So keep an eye on the site. I will post if they do. The other thing is, most likely, if they are doing a flash sale this month, which they normally do in March, that will likely be next Tuesday. So over the next week, keep an eye on that.
Nice.
We have, I think, just a couple more. May 19th from Kino, 1932's Night World. This has two new audio commentaries, one by Jeremy Arnold, one by Tim Lucas. This is with Boris Karloff. And I believe there's at least one other big name in this. I can't remember. I think so. But yeah, this is supposed to be pretty good. This says, taking a cue from Grand Hotel, this star-studded 1932 gem is set within the walls of a swanky nightclub owned by affable racketeer Happy McDonald, played by Boris Karloff. In the course of a single evening, McDonald is framed for murder by his faithless wife, and a choreographer, the philosophical doorman, fears for his beloved wife's life. An alcoholic socialite, the son of an acquitted murderess, finds love in the arms of a hard-boiled chorus girl, and a beat cop burst in to foil a pair of trigger-happy mobsters. That is a hell of a night. Wild night.
I guess so, yeah. Night World. Yeah, imagine that all the time.
Absolutely.
Crazy synopsis there.
All right, next. I guess we're ending on this. So the second title from Antenna has been announced, and would love to share that Bluebird is going to be premiering next month at Fantaspoa in Brazil. This is a title that we picked up before it was seen by anybody. This is going to be playing for the first time in a theater next month. We are going to be putting this out theatrically. This is going to sound crazy because it's so far in advance, but I just want to get people excited about it. Next January is what we're planning for this one. It's going to be having a full year of festival showings. We're also kind of doing something fun with this that I want to read straight from the press release. Antenna is not planning to release this until 2027, but we are hoping to use the festival circuit to generate momentum for the eventual theatrical release. This is going to be released in a very unusual way. We're capitalizing on the mysteries of the film and turning its theatrical release into somewhat of a scavenger hunt. I've got some crazy things scheduled for this, and I really hope people check this out. This film is a stylish blend of techno sci-fi noir and dark humor. It is a love story wrapped in a mystery as a lonely man named Charles, who who's played by Boardwalk Empire's David McKelvey, meets a young woman named Chloe and embarks on a quest to find her when she suddenly disappears in a strange world that seems intent on keeping them apart. With echoes of a 70s paranoia thrillers and contemporary neo-noir, it's a Los Angeles filmed example of how small budgets can create big works in the right hands. There's some big names in this that you'll like. It's a great movie, directed by J. Arden Black. I hope you check it out because it is a lot of fun. Eric from MVD is watching tonight. What's up, Eric?
How's it going, Eric?
Yeah, it is wild. It is focused on tech. It is done by somebody who's done some work in video games previously. So it is something that will, if you are into the tech side of things, it will definitely pique your interest, I bet.
Well, the whole scavenger hunt aspect, too. Like, you got my mind running a mile a minute here.
Yeah, it is. It is something that I've already having more fun doing that for this one title than I think anything that I did in 17 years with the government. So already proving my choice to be smart.
Perfect.
All right, let's talk about what's coming out next week. In case you forgot, we got lots of titles to cover. Mimic coming on 4K. I feel like that was originally announced, 2.5 years ago. So finally, next week, you'll be able to get that from Kino. The Jurassic Park standalone 4K. This is the new version with Dolby Vision and Atmos. This is outside of the Steelbook. So if you wanted that disc, you can pick it up there. Ilsa, the Tigress of Siberia from Kino on 4K. Dead Again 4K from Kino. Again, we were just talking about this. Kino doing so many 4Ks. Mm-hmm. There are 5 4Ks from Kino just in these first 2 rows of Blu-ray.com. We've got a French 4K coming from Criterion, Testament coming from Criterion as well, Port of Shadows 4K from Kino, the Substitute 4K from Lionsgate Limited. Still can't believe they did the Substitute on 4K. Wild choice.
I love it.
It's a great choice. Just for their first 4K, that's a hell of a pick.
Right.
Leprechaun 4K Steelbook is shipping from Lionsgate now. I see a lot of people getting that announcement today, which means you might get it by the 17th. What a way to celebrate.
That'd be nice.
Good Boy from Shudder next week. We got The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 on their 4K standalone discs. The Boy and the Beast 4K Steelbook coming next week from G-Kids. Anaconda 4K. Did you see the new Anaconda?
I haven't, but I've heard terrible things about it. So I don't know how excited I am to watch it, but I do love me some Paul Rudd and Jack Black. So how bad can it be, right?
I mean, it's a good question. The sad answer is pretty bad. It can be pretty bad. I knew
you'd seen it. Damn it.
I've not seen it, actually.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay.
The Housemaid 4K, I did see that one, and I did like that one, so I'm curious about that one. Is this thing on 4K? I've not seen that one yet. I'm kind of surprised that one got a 4K. I'm proud of Fox to do that, or 20th Century, I guess. For All Mankind
didn't get one, but so yeah.
And Rental Family did better in the theater, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a Bradley Cooper thing or not.
It could have been contractual. I wasn't even thinking about that.
We'll see.
Yeah. For All Mankind Season 2 coming on Blue next week, we get the Humphrey Bogart 4-film collection from Warner Archive. Return to Silent Hill 4K, which that's got to be one of the fastest theater to 4K discs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Faces of Death Steelbook coming next week of the original. Reminder that the rumor is the original series is getting an updated release later this year, so you might want to hold out for that one.
I've had that Steelbook for like 6 months, that Dark Sky Films one.
It was, this is now the wide release. It was exclusive to their website.
Gotcha.
Jack Benny Comedy Classics from Kino next week. America 3000 from Kino. The Birthday 4K from Arrow if you're dying to have more Corey Feldman in your collection. Lone Samurai 4K from Wilgo. I'm hearing only good things about this movie. Definitely want to check that one out. Tennessee Williams 4-film collection from Warner Archive. K2 4K and Blu-ray from Kino next week. We Bury the Dead, which I heard good things about. Rebuilding, which I saw and I definitely recommend. Josh O'Connor. I don't know how he did it. He was in like 7 great movies last year. I want his life at this point. The Corral and Zodiac Killer Project coming from Music Box Films. Heard nothing but good things, and I missed that at Sundance last year, so dying to check that one out. Anything that you're super excited for?
Well, all the 4K Kinos I have my hands on already. I haven't had a chance to watch any of them yet, though, unfortunately. But I'm going to be watching Mimic this weekend. That's a Del Toro movie that has I've never seen, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So cannot wait to watch it for the first time.
Nice. Yeah, I cannot wait to see Mimic in 4K. It's been, probably 20 years since I've seen it, something like that. It's not been in the best of quality in the other releases. The Blu-ray looked awful on that film, so very curious to check it out.
I'm hoping Kino cleaned it up a little bit. They're kind of wishy-washy on their transfers, so I'm hoping this is one of the shining spots.
I would like to think so. Question from Madhouse: what's the deal with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul 4K? Are we ever going to see it happen? I mean, honestly, that's a coin flip. I could see it happening because they're huge titles, but at the same time, based on when and how they were filmed, there's not really a huge increase that's going to happen on those titles coming out on 4K. And TV is already rough to sell on 4K, so my money would lean towards no. But they would probably make a killing doing it.
Yeah, I think Breaking Bad would sell very well. So even if there isn't like the biggest, 4K transfer bump, I still think it's kind of a no-brainer for them to release at some point.
Yeah. Did you watch Better Call Saul as well?
I love both of them. Yeah, both of them are great. Breaking Bad is my favorite show of all time. Better Call Saul it's a completely different beast, but that's a show to where like from season 1 to 6, it just grows and grows and grows. I love both. They're great.
I was such a big fan of Breaking Bad and an early fan. I saw it pretty much live as it was playing for most of the seasons. I watched the finale for Breaking Bad season 5 in a movie theater. It has been very interesting to see the love for the film or the show grow. But I got to say, as much as I was excited for Better Call Saul, I definitely thought it was going to be a huge step down. It was Breaking Bad is like a masterpiece. How can they even come close to it? Mm-hmm. At this point, I've watched them both 2 or 3 times. Better Call Saul might be a better show.
I definitely like the ending to Better Call Saul more than I do Breaking Bad. Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the writing is better in Better Call Saul overall. However, the story itself is probably a little more interesting to most people on Breaking Bad.
The character beats in Better Call Saul are more, I guess, higher leveled. I don't know a good way to say it, but there's more nuance in Better Call Saul, which I like a lot more. On Breaking Bad, there's a lot more like, I guess, in your face stunts to kind of carry the like, oh my God moments. With Better Call Saul, it's just like a freaking domino set of like, okay, these conversations are stringing themselves together, and then you just press them, and it's magic watching those conflicts happen.
That's interesting. And Cinema Force in the chat is saying that Breaking Bad was shot on 35 millimeter. I could have swore it was only shot on 2K HD. So if it was on 35 millimeter, then absolutely it should be on 4K because it would sell like hotcakes. But that's interesting either way. Yeah, check them out. And I'm dying to see Pluribus. I've not started it yet.
I don't know why I haven't seen it. Like, yeah. I love his stuff. So yeah,
my excuse is I don't have Apple. So if they put it out on disc, then I'll watch it. But I'm certainly not getting Apple TV for one show.
A lot of Apple shows have been getting physical media releases recently. Yep. So yeah, I would not be shocked if it did.
Well, and it would sell well. It's Vince freaking Gilligan, please.
Correct. Yep.
All right. Tonight, it's Oscars weekend, which means we got to talk about it in some way. And it's, to me at least, it's kind of boring just to run through what do you think is going to win every category? What do you think should win every category? So we're going to deep dive into one. And the one that I'm glad that we agreed on this, I think the biggest fight is likely going to be in Best Lead Actor. Why do you think it's going to be the biggest fight this time?
Because it's gone all over the place in a lot of the other award shows. And I feel like there's always momentum swings in like the Oscar campaign and when people actually vote. And this one, I feel like, has had a huge swing right when people were going to the ballots to place their vote. I have no idea where it's going to land, and that makes me very, very excited. And we'll talk about it, but all of these performances are very solid. Normally there's a low guy on the totem pole here. I think all of these are strong.
I feel like in any other year, all 5 of these could have won against like an average Oscar field of lead actors. Yeah. So just for the record, we've got Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, and then Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent, which I liked all 5 films. I thought they were all pretty great. The Secret Agent, I was a little low on. I've since watched it again, and I raised my feelings on it just ever so slightly. Blue Moon, I'd like to see again. I will say nothing would increase in my opinion of Ethan Hawke. I think he was just remarkable in that movie. But the movie itself, it was very good. It just wasn't exactly what I wanted. But he is exactly what I always want because he's always incredible.
Yeah. That movie felt like a play for sure.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just that's kind of what it was. But his performance is the main reason why you would want to see Blue Moon. It's definitely the main reason why that movie sticks with you. He kind of transforms into this character in the best way.
Yep. So on this one, let's run down who do we think is going to win this one. Who do you think the Oscars picked to win this one?
And I've been back and forth on it. My place of work has an Oscar pool, and for the longest time, I really thought it was going to be Timothée Chalamet. But with that SAG, or I guess the Actors Award that Michael B. Jordan got, and the speech that he gave, and when that award was given, that's when the votes were starting to flood in for the Oscars. I really do think Michael B. Jordan has a really good shot of winning an Oscar, and I did not think that even 3 weeks ago.
I am literally the same. I wanted to lead into it in an interesting way, but literally all the same choices of words there. What's odd is I loved Marty Supreme. I thought it was really great. Mm-hmm. It has cooled dramatically. The thoughts from everybody in like on Christmas weekend, it was, this is going to win so many different things. This is a huge movie. Everybody's loving this. It has fallen off of a damn cliff since then.
Weird. It's very odd. I don't know. I really hope that like the smear campaign that Timothy has had with the whole ballet and opera situation, like in my opinion, his words were taken out of context, and he was more talking like how he doesn't want the movies to kind of be forgotten a little bit. Like he was grouping himself in with those and how he kind of felt about those different mediums of entertainment. I don't know. I don't think that's why he's going to lose. I just think it's because Marty Supreme as a whole has just like fallen off a cliff, which I don't really understand why. Again, all the movies that are nominated, at least for Best Actor here, I have also thoroughly enjoyed. But I don't think Marty Supreme's going to win a damn thing this year.
I don't think it stands a chance for anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Which is wild, because literally 2 months ago, I'd been like, I could see it winning 3 or 4. Easily. But now, I would be shocked if it wins 1.
But when I saw it just kind of changing course a little bit here, when I saw one battle after another, I thought Leo was kind of a lock for his performance too. And even though he doesn't do a lot, he is such a force in that movie, and I don't think I've laughed harder than some of the shit he pulled off in 2025. There might be a chance to where like he kind of squeaks in. I wouldn't be shocked if he won Best Actor in this either. I really wouldn't. I kind of think it's a 3-person race there. Leo to me is kind of in the back, but I don't know. I'm very excited to watch this Sunday just to see who actually wins, because I feel like out of the main 4 actors, that's the one category to where I'm like, I really don't know where this is going to land.
Yeah. So before we get in who we want to win and maybe some optional items that if none of these were nominated, what are some other ones we would have liked to see nominated?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Oscars? You watch them every year? Are you a fan? Because a lot of people are jaded about it and they just don't give a crap.
Like, I know it's a big popularity contest and whatnot, but ever since I was probably 10 or 11 and my mom randomly had it on and I watched it and fell in love with the whole atmosphere of everything and people being so into winning the award and doing the acceptance speech and the whole just glitz and glamour of everything. Like, that has kind of stuck with me, even if Hollywood has changed since I first fell in love with it. I still am fascinated with the history of the Oscars, and I want to kind of be there and watch it. Like, I was watching live when the whole Chris Rock, Will Smith thing happened, and that was absolutely surreal to watch that whole thing play out in real time. And just like, there's not a lot of things that I watch live anymore, but there's something magical about the live format that you can always wake up the next day and see all the winners, but there's something to seeing the surprise and being in that moment that I can't get enough of.
I will say, and this is not me trying to, place this on anybody else or anything, but I love movies, and this is like the biggest cheerleading event for movies for the year.
Yep.
This is the moment. I don't watch any of the other awards, the actors awards, the BAFTAs. They're all important. They all have meaning leading up to the Oscars. I just don't care. I don't watch them because this is the one. This is the one that affects careers. This is the one that people get jobs out of. This is the one that people lose jobs out of. This is the one where people get slapped. This is the one where the biggest moments of the year happen. And I don't have stock in this. I'm not going to dislike somebody because they lose. I'm not going to like somebody because they win. Mm-hmm. But it is this is my passion, and so I'm gonna watch the Oscars live every single year. It's what I got to do.
I've watched it the past couple of years in a movie theater, with a huge crowd.
Nice.
And that is the best, man. That is where people get the diehards come out and are as excited as you are to watch everything, and people are rooting for their own, winners and losers, and it's a blast to kind of just go and experience. And I love it. I look forward to it every year, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. It's going to be very bizarre, I think, in 2029 when it gets moved over to YouTube, because then I feel like it's going to be more popular than it has been the past decade, because anybody can watch it.
Yep, I would agree. So before we go down into our other choices, as far as acting, how do you personally judge a good acting performance? Because I know for a lot of people, and this is where you get into the misogyny of it a little bit. It's like the female actress winners every year are the ones that gave the biggest emotions or cried or screamed loud enough. And people are like, yeah, that's who's going to win.
Or the one that made themselves ugly. That shit always pisses me off. I can't believe this beautiful woman turned herself, was so vulnerable by having no makeup. That, I despise that outlook on the Oscars, but it works so often. With a best, I guess, actor or actress is the one that leaves the biggest impression on me. When I leave the theater, I can't stop thinking about the performance they gave.
The way that I have tended, at least over the last few years, to view it is which one do I get immersed in the character the most and forget that it is this giant famous actor, which is a little more difficult when it's somebody like Wagner Moura, who I had no idea who that was before. Sure. And that whole movie, The Secret Agent, every single actor is somebody's doppelganger in a weird way, but also you don't recognize any of these people. They're just humans.
Which there's a lot of non-actors in that movie too, specifically, which just kind of blends the everydayness of that movie. I didn't watch that movie until very recently because I saw that it was on Hulu, and I wanted to kind of watch it before we did this podcast here. And that movie, probably out of the 5 that are nominated for Best Actor, still probably my weakest. But not a bad movie at all. That movie is a vibe all on itself. I think the opening was strong with the whole gas station scenario. That definitely puts you in for what you're expected to kind of go through the rest of the movie. It builds. I really like that one.
I would agree there. So out of these 5, who do you want to win?
I think out of the 5 performances, the one that stuck with me most was Leo's performance. That's the one that I would love to see win, because he doesn't really do those performances. I kind of was taken out of that being Leonardo DiCaprio. I kind of forgot that was him. He kind of blended himself into something else. Timothy Chalamet, I always knew was him. Michael B. Jordan, same thing. Ethan Hawke is probably the closest to being I could kind of lose himself into the role. But there's not a lot of flashy moments in Blue Moon. There's a lot of emotional beats, both sad and comedic, with one battle after another, that if you can hit both of those for me and going with a little bit of anger issues too, that goes a long way. To go just one route is not enough for me if one does multiple routes,
I loved Ethan Hawke, and he is probably my second place choice. Leo's great. He definitely gets lost in this role quite a bit. He's somebody that is playing a little off type because he's quite neurotic in this movie, of course. The Chalamet performance, it's a great performance. However, he's not even trying that hard. My big thing here is he's a narcissistic asshole. He didn't even have to try for this role. He had to stop plucking his unibrow and be a dick, and voila, he got nominated for an Oscar.
No, I 1,000% agree there. He's more playing a heightened version of what he already is, more or less. Like, I think he already has wild opinions, and he's not embarrassed to kind of put himself out there. And that's kind of what Marty Supreme is in a nutshell, too. He's very motivated. He will do what he needs to do in order to succeed. And Timothy Chalamet, say what you will about him, but he does not filter himself that often, man. He kind of goes for it, whether you like it or not.
So my choice here, though, I did say Ethan Hawke was my second favorite. I still, for this one, I want Michael B. Jordan to win. And the main reason here, he is one person conveying to people in a way where I knew who both of them were at any moment. And that is so much work, literally pulling double duty in a film that left almost more of an impression than any of these other movies, maybe besides One Battle After Another. And to have it pulled off the way that they did, Michael B. Jordan passing a cigarette to himself on camera is insane that we got that done. And obviously that's more Coogler getting just amazingness on camera. But the fact that he's able to pull that off, and you can see the way that the two brothers hold a cigarette in a different way, that's Michael B. Jordan. And so I don't know. I'm a sucker for like doppelganger films or twin films or something like this. And I'll talk about another one in just a few minutes. But yeah, he is my choice. And I really, really hope he wins.
Yeah, no, I would be happier than hell if he won, because I've been watching Michael B. Jordan since he was a little damn kid. I know he was in The Wire, didn't really watch a lot of The Wire. I watched Friday Night Lights. And when he kind of popped into the scene on seasons 4 and 5, fell in love with the kid, grew up with him, just watching him on screen, and to just see how he has grown as an actor. And anytime he pops up on screen, I'm happy that he's there. And this role was so different for him, and the fact that he played two different roles as well, it just kind of magnifies his great acting ability. And yeah, I'm rooting for the kid, that's for damn sure, on Sunday.
So out of the 5 movies, is One Battle your favorite movie? Like, outside of the performance, which one is your favorite movie?
One Battle After Another was my third favorite movie of the year, but my second favorite was Sinners. I had more of an enjoyable time with Sinners. It's a movie that I feel like was crafted for me. I love the blues as a music genre. I love that time frame. I'm a huge proponent of the movie Idlewild, even though like no one likes that movie. It's just outcast in like that deep South in the 1920s. And this movie does that, but it's a little bit more elevated. And the scene at the very, very end after the credits with like, I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but that's what really put the cherry on top for me, because I was not expecting that type of stinger at the end. And for me, it elevated the entire movie to like a whole different level.
Yeah. I would agree. It is my favorite of the 5. I adore Sinners. I do kind of find it interesting that for years we talked about Oscar timing and how if a film didn't come out between Halloween and the end of January, it had no chance for an Oscar. And now Sinners came out last April or May?
March.
And was it March?
It was March. Yep.
And now it's the most nominated film for an Oscar ceremony ever. That's wild.
I feel like it's kind of having the same trajectory that The Hurt Locker did, because The Hurt Locker came out in January the previous year, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of movies came out and went, but the push was at the right place at the right time, and it just kept on going forward and forward, and it really stuck with you. It doesn't happen often, but I'm very happy that it happened with Sinners.
Yeah, it's nice to see that the love came through for that one. So we talked about our favorite performances of those 5. We talked about our favorite movie. What about your just overall favorite actor in the current landscape? Who is your favorite actor?
See, I'm an oddball because I don't have like big name actors that I really crave to see. I'm more of like a supporting cast person. One that I've loved forever that does not get enough work, but when he does, I am there to watch it, is Ben Foster. I love Ben Foster, man. And it doesn't matter if he's in a tiny role or a piece of shit movie, I will be there and with bells on. I'm a huge proponent of him, and he can elevate a kind of average movie like Hostage and make it into a movie that I will rewatch again and again just because his performance is so great. newer actors, I'm even a fan of Michael Gandolfini. Like anytime he's popped up in a few movies, but he has really surprised me, whether that be Licorice Pizza or Warfare that came out last year. Like his part was very memorable to me. The Long Walk, where he got an actual like leading role, he kind of kicked it out of the park, in my opinion. He's really surprising me. Actress wise, I would probably say Emma Stone. Like anytime she's in a movie, I'm like, yeah, okay, let's go. A lot of her recent work has been Yorgos related, and I love Yorgos, but even when she's in like a random, like when she was coming up with like The Hot Chick, I really liked when she popped up in that, or just Easy A.
Easy A is a masterpiece.
Yeah, super bad. Like there's more movies of hers that I like because she's in it, rather than like Cruella's the only one that I can think of that I'm like didn't really work for me, but yeah, still fun to see her pop up in anything.
I completely get that. My supporting ones that seem to stick in my mind, at least Jesse Plemons. We're going to talk about him in a minute because I think he is the biggest snub of the year. I think that his lead performance was not only deserving, I could have argued for that to win. You mentioned The Long Walk. David Johnson from The Long Walk is incredible. He was great in Alien Romulus, playing an android in the most believable way as an android. I would say I've got a lot of hope for Cooper Hoffman. Speaking of The Long Walk, he has done some just incredible performances. One that we've not talked about tonight, and I was going to talk about. So we'll mosey on over to other performances that I would have liked to have seen nominated because it's an answer for both. I love Dylan O'Brien. I think he is going to be somebody that leaves a lasting impression on people, and I truly think for Twinless, I think he deserved an actual look from last year. Just like we were just talking about with Michael B. Jordan, he played two roles. He played twin brothers, both very believable, both very obviously different people, not on camera at the same time. If you watch the film, one of them dies, so that's why. But he's a just ridiculously great, charismatic performer and just completely magnetic in everything that he does. He's incredibly dickish in Twinless, but also incredibly humble and vulnerable in Twinless in ways that a lot of people don't show in a lead role for the male side usually. And I know that we just said that's hilarious to hear about women, but for a role like this, it is a guy playing a role where he's forced to be in precarious situations that other actors, especially in the past, like far in the past, would have not even taken the role to be even remotely close to those situations. So Twinless is great. The other big one, Begonia. Jesse Plemons deserved to play, to win, to be nominated, whatever.
He was on my
He's
list.
amazing. What else from your list?
Jesse Plemons is the big one for sure. I would probably take Wagner Moura off and put him in if I had my way.
Interesting.
And I would put him in Best Actor. I wouldn't put him in Best Supporting. You could probably put both, but to me, that's a two-person movie, and for the majority of the movie, and he really, really blew me away. So it sucked that he did not get the nomination. But I liked Joel Edgerton too in Train Dreams. I really liked his performance. Very subtle, but very powerful as well. That movie really stuck with me when I watched it. Those are probably the main two that I could see myself fitting into that fifth spot, taking one out, placing one in that it feels strongest about.
I love those picks. A kind of an oddball pick for me. I've never really been a huge fan of Darren Aronofsky, and for some reason, Caught Stealing hit for me last year.
Agreed.
And Austin Butler was incredible in that movie. Other than like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think I've still not seen any Austin Butler films.
Dune,
and he was
two?
Nope, not seen either of the.
Really? Wow.
Nope, I was just behind. I loved him in Caught Stealing. There was something about it. It was just fun and unique, and I don't know, like it's another one of those like vibe films, like Surratt. Did you get to see Surratt?
I haven't seen Surratt.
So Surratt is weird. There's a lot of interesting things about Surratt, and I feel about Austin Butler's performance the way I felt about the entire film of Surratt. So there's not really a performance like that in Surratt, but Austin Butler was incredible.
Yeah, Wave in here said he was in Eddington too. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's right.
Very small performance, but memorable. Yeah.
I've not seen The Bike Riders, Reggie. I need to for sure.
Very good in that too. Yeah.
I've still not seen Elvis either.
that's a powerhouse performance for him. He actually got nominated for that one. So yeah, no, that makes sense. But I really liked Caught Stealing. I thought that was one of the biggest surprises of last year for me, because Aronofsky is very hit or miss with me in his filmography. This one didn't really feel like an Aronofsky film either. It had such a vibe to it. Like I just vibed with that movie hardcore.
Yep. Not one that ever would have been considered for an award necessarily, and it's probably not good enough to earn an Oscar, but I gotta say, Channing Tatum was kind of incredible in Roofman this year, and that movie is so much better than people have given it credit for.
Yeah.
Immaculately directed. It's based on a true story, so the writing is great. It is subtle performances that, I mean, Kiki in that movie is the facial acting that she gives in certain scenes are wildly great. It is such a unique story because it is real. You can feel the personal side of things coming through every single scene. Love the movie. Everybody should see Roofman. It's so good.
It's on my stack of shame right now. I've got the 4K that I just have not watched yet. It's one that I'm waiting to watch with my wife, and we have different bedtimes. I don't know if that's the same in your family or not, but like my wife likes to go to bed early. I like to go to bed super late, and one of these days we will kind of meet and watch it at home for sure.
I'm kind of curious. Did you see Eddington?
I did see Eddington.
How do you feel about Eddington?
That movie was a tale of two films for me. I was really vibing with the first half of the movie, and I think that movie, besides Bo Burnham's Inside, is the best example of catching COVID and like putting it on screen in the best possible way. And then a major death happens in that movie, and it completely threw me, and I couldn't get back on board after that because it went in this entirely different avenue that I wasn't ready to. I liked the lane I was in. I don't want to go in this new lane here, and it went fully in that new lane. And yeah, I still liked it overall. I just wished that it was more of the first half of the movie than the second half.
Right. Not sure if you've ever seen my Letterboxd profile, but literally, I think I'm one of only a few people that have Inside on their Letterboxd top 4. I adore that whole thing. He is God. I could do a full episode on Bo Burnham. I
will be on because I love that special, and it sucks that Bo Burnham has just disappeared. Like he was in Promising Young Woman, and I have not seen him since.
Yeah. God, he is like a modern Renaissance man, kind of like Donald Glover, and I hope they always do something because they need to be creating.
Agreed. I need to hear his voice. That's
always.
For sure. Yeah.
Adam is saying, I mentioned facial acting. What is facial acting? So the big thing with Kirsten Dunst in Roofman, there's a lot of scenes where she's not speaking, but the way that she portrays emotion with like a subtle movement of her eye can change the way you feel about an entire scene. The way that she like changes the shape of her mouth just to convey losing confidence in Channing Tatum's character is wild. And a lot of actors cannot pull something like that off. And so her control and her ability to act like that, I mean, from last year, it is the best performance like that I've seen other than Juliette Lewis, who played, gosh, I'm not remembering the name of the movie right now, but Juliette Lewis plays a chair in a movie that is coming out from Oscilloscope here soon in like 6 or 7 months, I believe. And there's a scene where she is in one shot, the camera does not move, and Juliette Lewis is in what appears to be the most uncomfortable position I've ever seen, and her body does not move for, I think, like 11 minutes straight. It is immaculate body control, and that is just crazy. But yeah, Kirsten Dunst is probably the closest behind her last year. By Design is the name of the cheer movie. Thanks, Ronnie. By Design is, I did not love it, but for watching a feat of acting that should not exist and is crazy,
sure,
go check out Juliette Lewis in By Design. It's wild.
It's got me. I've never heard of that movie, and it has me intrigued to watch it just for that scene. Is that the majority of the movie? Is her as a chair?
Yes. It's a weird story because she goes chair shopping with some friends, and she sees a chair and she falls in love with it and essentially wishes to be the chair. And it's a interesting movie.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. Check out By Design if that's your thing. Other than incredible lead performances for our acting category, what other categories you got your eyes on as like, ooh, this could be interesting?
I think what was it, best supporting actor, that was kind of close as well. I think both actor categories. Actress Jessie Buckley has lead on lock. I don't know. I think this year is very fascinating just because there's not a lot of locks. Yeah, actor in a supporting role I think could go so many different ways as well. Like for the longest time, Sarsgaard was like the main person that was going to be picked to win. But Sean Penn is starting to creep his way in. He would be my personal winner. He's such a piece of shit in one battle after another. But one that has like different quirks that are just odd and not a Sean Penn role I thought he would ever play. So that's the one that stuck with me the most. I voted for Delroy Lindo, though. I think there's going to be a lot of Sinners love at the Oscars. And since this is the only one that, the only nomination he's had in the whole award season, I feel like there might be a surprise win here.
Well, that, and I could see it being like a body of work type of Oscar for him.
Sean Penn already has 2 as well. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Stellan has given, pardon the pun, but stellar performances for decades. Like, so even looking at something like Nymphomaniac, he is remarkable in that movie. Yeah.
And Delroy is one of those actors that I feel like just in the past 5 or 6 years is really starting to get his flowers a little bit. Mm-hmm. But this might be the time to where like he gets the ultimate flower, I guess, because and his role in Sinners is very memorable too. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but it definitely sticks with you.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd almost rather see Delroy Lindo win over Michael B. Jordan because Michael B. Jordan is going to have 814 more chances at this. Yeah. Delroy Lindo probably will not get another big meaty piece like this.
Right. No, and like I didn't really put any focus onto him until I saw Defy Bloods, and that movie stuck with me.
So great in that movie.
Much, yeah. To where like I've just been a fan of his ever since I saw that movie, and yeah, to see what he did in Sinners really just put a smile on my face. He's a very charismatic alcoholic, and it's a fun meaty role.
Ronnie, I agree. Ronnie says very annoying that Sentimental Value is coming to streaming after the Oscars. Yep. I'm glad that it's coming out through Criterion. Mm-hmm. I kind of wish I could have it in my hand already to watch before the ceremony again. I really enjoyed that movie. Probably third or fourth funniest scene in a movie all year is when all of the cinephiles watching Sentimental Value laughed like crazy when they saw the DVD cover of Irreversible being handed to a 9-year-old. God, there's so much to talk about from last year. Let's make that the last question. How did you feel about 2025 as a movie year? Because obviously we get complaints from so many people about the movies suck, nothing original is happening. 2025 I felt like was amazing.
I thought it was strong too. And one person that I haven't talked about that put out my favorite movie and my 5th favorite movie of last year was Soderbergh. I thought like his 1-2 punch of movies that came out in like, it was either like a 1 or 2 week span with Presence and Black Bag are like some of my favorite movie watching experiences. And they couldn't be further from each other either. Like one is just a spy espionage film. The other one is just a very unique ghost storytelling. And both were very memorable in my book.
So which one was your favorite from last year? Was it Black Bag?
I like Presence. I really enjoyed Presence. I did not expect it to end where it did, and I thought the shtick with the camera moving in first person with the ghost perspective really fucking stuck with me. And I could not keep my eyes were glued to the screen the entire time. No distractions were even thought of.
I loved the third act of Presence. Yep. I think the whole shtick got a little long in the tooth for me, but it was still effective, and I still enjoyed it, and I thought it was great. The story itself that they leaned into finally in the third act was a lot of fun. Yep. Maybe about 30 minutes too long in terms of the shtick.
I'm the only one that I know that loves that movie as much as I do, but I think it was the only movie last year I gave a perfect rating to. I'm very harsh when it comes to my 5-star ratings, but that one I wouldn't change anything. I even liked the cutting to black and then going to a different scene just because like, who knows like what the other realm is kind of doing. And it might just be like, here's a moment, just flashes in and out. I don't know. But That movie's great. It really did something to me.
I will say the one movie that I somehow, just like the Oscars, did not mention at all tonight, which I really wanted to, is No Other Choice. I think Lee Byung-hun was amazing in his lead role, and it's a lot of fun. And I wish it got love, but I believe the Academy hates Park Chan-wook and will never forgive him for.
Yeah,
I think there was a writer's strike thing, and that's why he shut out. Basically, I don't know.
Yeah, because he can't be. Isn't it? He can't be nominated because he made a movie when the writers or actors strike was going on. Isn't that what happened?
I think he could be now. They're just doing it out of spite, essentially.
Whatever.
I don't know.
It's a petty reason, nonetheless.
Yeah. Tell everybody about your stuff and where you want them to follow you most.
Yeah. Steelbook Obsessed on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I post a video a day. If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, it's at Steelbook. I saw that handle was available. I'm like, yep, I'm just going to grab that. That's fine with me. And I have a couple of physical media releases coming out soon. I've got, I was a producer, the main producer on The Dirties from Umbrella Entertainment. I hosted the interviews. I kind of crafted the way they were edited. I spent so much time on that sucker that I can't wait for it to get in people's hands. Matt Johnson, I've loved for a very long time. So the fact that I was able to interview the guy and get their input on what they wanted for extras, both like physical goodies. Like we have a t-shirt coming out that is like a main factor in the setting or the plot of The Dirties, and the fact that we were able to come up with like such a cool boxed release, I'm thrilled to get it in people's hands, especially if you've seen Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, and really liked that. Dig into his first work. This is a school shooting comedy, should not work whatsoever, and it absolutely does. And then I have some written work coming in their Monsters and Curiosities box set coming out in April from Umbrella.
Well, you've spent a lot of time talking about that one, but not enough tonight. Tell everybody why that box set is so special.
It's a big one. It's a big, beefy box set with a whole bunch. Like the most known movie in that box set is The Bride of Frankenstein, probably, which has been released ad nauseum. But there are a lot of movies in there that have never received a proper Blu-ray release, which is very cool to see. I have a written piece based on the movie The Leech Woman, which is very late in like the monster run. It released in 1965, I believe, but that movie is kind of about hiding your age and trying to be beautiful on the outside for as long as possible. So me and Aaron Holt, Cult of Cinema, on a whole bunch of different platforms, we had a discussion on aging in cinema and like the horrors, how it's kind of being portrayed in the horror genre. And I think we had a damn good conversation. It was supposed to be a special feature on the disc, and Universal stepped in at like the 23rd hour and said, actually, you got to pay us for a lot of this licensing that you've utilized. Even though you're talking about the movie and you have the movie on the disc, you got to pay us again if you want to use it on the special feature, which always sucks when that happens. And it really gutted a lot of people on the team, but you just kind of got to pivot when you can. I think what we turned that into a written piece works. Still hoping I can get that special feature out just on my YouTube page at some point, because we had a great conversation about just aging in cinema. But the box set as a whole, I think, is such a cool piece. It's a huge box set, 20, 25, 26 films. There's a lot of content in that box, and the booklet that's included has over 100 pages, hardbound book. If you're a fan of those like Universal monster B-type movies, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the set.
It is one of those situations where I see so many people, and I think I did as well, because we had not gotten the word on it yet. But when they first announced that box set, it was like, oh man, this is great. We're getting all these titles. Oh wait, there's like nothing extra on the discs. This sucks that we're doing it. And then you find out why later. And it goes from complaints to understanding and empathy to like, God, studios just suck sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we probably had 3+ hours of bonus material, like just ready to go. And at the last second, we couldn't. And I think there were a couple that we could have ultimately used, but we decided it was kind of an all or nothing effort. Like we were either going to, because if you have one or two smattered across 13 discs, like who cares? Like it's just going to get lost. So either you can fill all the discs with bonus content or just make the book as beefy as possible. And at the end of the day, I'm happy with what the final product's going to be, but I'm a proponent for special features, man. That's like one of the main reasons why I love physical media. So it stings that it's not there, but I still think the box set as a whole has value for sure. And I think it's worth checking out if you're a fan of that genre.
Any other interviews or anything coming up on the show that you want to hype up?
Nothing too crazy. I'm still working on a bunch. Nothing is finalized, but I'm hoping to get more kind of in the entertainment realm, working on scheduling at the moment. So nothing to announce yet.
All right. Everybody go follow Steelbook Obsessed. All the links are in the description below. Jake, thanks for doing this finally.
Absolutely. No, it was a blast. I feel like I had nothing to say for 2/3 of the new announcements because it was all just older films and foreign films, not my forte. But it was fun to be on here nonetheless.
I will be honest, I think this may be the most eclectic week of releases we've ever had. Literally. The titles that were announced this week, I mean, from Radiance, from Universal pre-code stuff to random Kino. Like, we went from 1932 W.C. Fields to Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. I had something to say about Harry. That's about it. That's all you got from me.
Well, on that note, thanks everybody for hanging out. Next week, I will be back as usual, of course, because I'm always here, other than last week. Let's not talk about that. We'll see you next time. Have a good week and stay safe. See y'all. Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share with someone else that may appreciate this. Welcome to the official Deaf Crocodile podcast. I am Ryan Verrill, and every month I am joined by the owners of Deaf Crocodile themselves, Craig Rogers and Dennis Bartok, as we share the stories behind the restorations, the acquisitions, and the special features behind these restored home video releases curated by Deaf Crocodile. Not only will you find episodes where we break down the announcements, but we will also be sharing audio commentaries from the home video releases themselves so that you can listen on the go. Proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hi, this is Tony Meaches.
Hi, and this is John Matthews.
And we are the co-hosts of the podcast Imprintcast, the podcast dedicated to the Australian boutique label Imprint Films.
Yes, if you want to know everything related to imprint or in the imprint world, this is the podcast for you as we cover announcements and also upcoming releases from the imprint lineup.
Yes, and we are not the only hosts on this show. We also have family members. They include Suzanne Boleyn, Paul Berryman, Jim Mulvihill, as well as Ryan Kendall.
Also joining us are content creators who contribute to the imprint releases, doing commentaries, essays. They're actually on the show discussing the releases they worked on via deep dive episodes covering various titles.
You can also watch our videos on certain episodes with the content creators as well as us, as well as the family members. And of course, you can always listen to this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast and our YouTube channel, Imprintcast.
And don't forget, Imprintcast is a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Thank you for listening. To hear more shows from the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, please select the link in the description